24/7 now.
Yeah, you're gonna be wishing it
It's
didn't.
been a long time since.
Good evening and welcome to the Georgetown School Committee meeting of Thursday, May 11th, 2017. If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to move the agenda around a little bit because there is a chorus concert this evening and the principal would love to be there. So if you would like to come on up. You can cheer our own children on since we're not able to be there.
So you can take a picture of it and tweet and send it to me so I can tweet it.
Okay.
Sure, it'll be
Well, thank you very much for accommodating me.
Sure.
It's an extremely busy week. It's
I
something,
bet.
4 nights in a row, so I appreciate you accommodating me. So, 3 things I'm gonna talk about.
Yep.
The first thing is the training that we want to, we're asking you tonight for the money for this?
Well, no, we're not asking them for the money really, because we don't,
Yeah,
we have to know, PTA said they would be interested in talking to us too, so.
Oh, good.
Oh, I thought it was on part of that list, but no.
Oh,
Not
I'll have
part
to
of the
look at,
list.
I'll look at, see what you're talking about, Peter, go ahead. Keep going.
But anyway, this is something we wanted to do last year, but we became aware of it late in the spring, and it was full, and it actually is full right now. We're number 1 on the waiting list, so we hope to get in. But it's anti-bias education, and it's a program that it's kind of a train-the-trainer kind of model. So we're going to implement it through our high school peer leaders. And our peer leader advisor, Beth Daly, is going to go to boot camp this summer to learn all about it. And they're going to come here, and it's not only training about 30 kids, but they're also going to do a staff development little workshop, and they're going to do one for parents too.
Wow.
And it's a 2-year program, and we're very, very excited about it because the things that we're going to learn from them and the materials that we're going to get for them really fit very nicely in our goal to increase acceptance in the middle high school. So we want the high school kids are also going to work with the middle school kids. So the peer leaders are going to work probably in the advisory program to do some lessons there.
That's great.
So that's that.
I was amazed at how many
Oh, look at all the
schools that participate. That's great. So I'd love to see our name
It's
added
a
to
great
that list.
program.
I mean, when I talked to Penny Hurwitz, I think her name is, she said though that there's just been a huge uptick in the requests for these programs. Like she said, there's already like 20 schools ahead of us. You know, just what we're hearing nationally are the trends they're really playing out in the schools. So, you know, she really does want to work with us, and she did say that she would work with us on the price and cost. I did send this information to Erin and Jill from PTA, because this fits right into sort of the PTA's mission of health and wellness. So they were very interested. They did have a couple of questions for me that I'm getting them answers for, but, you know, they haven't committed to anything, and, you know, so I think we're, if I'm right, Peter, we're looking for the 4,500
Yeah, for the first year.
for the first year. So again, if the PTA would give us some funds, then we can take a look and see, you know, next year, if any, our salary lines come in a little less, you know, we can make some adjustments. And I'll talk to Colin too, because we're in the process of planning our professional development program for next year. And, you know, there may actually be, you know, a little money in there that we could identify. So I think it's gonna be something that we're gonna kind of put a few sources together.
I think that doesn't include the summer camp, which is, I think it's 300 plus lodging, and we want to send 2 people.
Right, I do remember you telling me that. So,
Okay, so
I
like,
see that in the
so like
the
5,100.
breakdown. Yeah.
Be looking at.
But there's a lot of great information in here, and it sounds like the students that that have been trained in this, and hopefully other students as the years go by, you know, because train the trainer, you know, when you train the students, they'll be able to share the
Yeah.
culture, but like 20% of students who are not trained in this are likely to confront, if they come across an incidence of bias or social injustice or something, only 20% were, in the control group, were likely to confront the situation, whereas 80% after the training were likely, they had the tools, they learned how best to do it, to send it, you know, the interactions into a more positive direction, are likely to intervene. So sounds like it's a lot about, you know, the power of the bystander, which is so huge, but many, you know, it's just easier, isn't it? You know, a lot of kids, if you don't know how to intervene, it's easier kind of to walk away. And it's just a matter, it's teaching, you know, a set of really, really important social skills.
The other thing
So-
she did tell me is, because I said we're having challenges getting people to come out at night, you know, parents to come out at night, and she said, well, she said, we have had very strong success with that, because she said, we actually have the children, you know, the students are basically running the meeting. So a lot of the times that's more engaging for the parents to come and, you know, see, because the kids are involved. And we have found that ourselves. If you involve the kids,
And their families will come, and their
Then-
families will invite
yeah,
friends,
yeah.
and friends will invite
so
friends.
hopefully,
and-
you know, but I think it's something that if we can get it, it'll be well worth the money.
Yeah, I definitely commend you for moving forward with this, and I know it's been a very difficult year, really, here. And, you know, I appreciate the fact that you're looking to raise awareness, because it certainly needs to be done, and it's tough. But it is across, not just the state, across the country, in terms of the school districts that are seeing this, and not to say that that's right, but,
No, but I
need to
also
just
wonder
try to-
how much, because we're making it more, we're talking about it more, right? So we're hoping that, that some of what I don't know that it's happening more, but maybe we're learning more about it, because people are talking about it, you know, bringing it up, not being afraid to confront it, you know, that people want it to stop. So, you know, that sometimes does happen when you shine a light on something. Sometimes you know, it sometimes looks like it's worse than it's ever been, but it could very well be that that's not necessarily the case, you know, so.
well, that's good,
Sometimes it has to get worse before
Or
it
it
gets
gets better, yeah, that's true.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that's great, let us know how the PTA
Yep, we'll definitely
feels
do
about
that.
it.
Yeah.
The other topic was, I'd like to give you an update on the self-study. So, we are in our standard groups right now, and they're writing reports, they're doing research with regard to gathering evidence to support our findings in our report. And we have heard from one group, the standard one, I think, mission and expectations, or core values and beliefs. And that report was given to the faculty. The faculty has to approve each report by a 2/3 vote. And by a unanimous vote, they approved the report for mission and expectation. So 1 down, 6 to go. We thought we would have a couple ready on Monday. We did that Monday during the PD day, but we got some glitches with once the report is written, there's kind of a vetting process with the steering committee to make sure that the findings are valid. And sometimes some things in the report aren't entirely accurate because the people writing the report didn't come across the right evidence. So we have a little bit of that going on, some cross-checking, and probably in the June faculty meeting, I'm sure that we'll have at least one more report, and then we'll rattle the rest of them off in the fall, and we'll ship it all out before Christmas, and then embrace the visiting committee
Yep.
on March 5th, 6th, and 7th, I believe.
It'll go well. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to it.
Yes,
Yeah, I think
Very
we're
good
in a
about
much better place than we were last time.
absolutely,
I
yeah.
agree. Does your staff agree? Do you feel
Um,
good about things, or?
You know, a lot of them weren't around
Oh.
then, so the comparison is hard. But from the guy that's written like 100 special reports, I can tell you that, you know, we have a lot more than we did when they came.
We absolutely do.
We had virtually no technology when they came last time.
Right,
And
the building was a
you know,
mess.
Yeah, the building was a mess, fields,
You know, you're right, your
cla-
soccer field
classroom.
classes were packed.
yeah, we had classrooms in the auditorium, we had a lot of floating teachers, to name a few of the things that we had to resolve, so,
The curriculum is, we have a curriculum. changes
curriculum was
that have
pretty
been
good
made.
last time
It was,
around,
but we
but-
made the, you know, the changes to this, the new standards, and
yeah. Yeah, I think we'll be in good,
Supports for kids
a
are
good
better.
spot.
I do too.
Good.
And then finally, an update on the one-to-one. So last Thursday, we had the sign-up night. So that was the night where parents actually that opted for option one, where they're gonna lease through the school district, came and had to sign up. And we had 72 parents. That's not enough. So we have 191 that said that they were gonna sign up. So we're really hoping that next Tuesday night, everyone else is gonna show up.
Next Tuesday night.
Yeah, and I wanna make it perfectly clear to everybody that you don't have to pay on this day. But you do have to bring a check because you have to put your routing number in there because it's automatic
I mean, it's the
withdrawal.
16th, sorry.
16.
And basically what happens is you just sit down on the computer, you open up an account, and you pick the payment plan that you want. And before you leave, you sign up and tell us what model iPad you want, and then you get to pick if you want to make your first payment on June 1st or June 15th. And that's when the money is due. So there isn't any money due next Tuesday. But we really need people to come and sign up because it is not an open enrollment. So we have to make
Okay.
a lease purchase, the town does, and we need to know. And we need to know before June 1st because that's when the first payments are due. So whoever we get that signs up by June 1st, that's it. And
So I
the
think,
door is
I think
closed.
that's important, because
Even
if,
if the 119 doesn't,
right,
What was the number you said?
191.
there's
90.
191, there's 72 that showed. So how many's left? I can't do math. How many's left?
120 something.
Yeah.
Right, so that's 119 that need to show up.
Yeah.
And if those 119, for whatever reason, are you still gonna do it with 72?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Our issue isn't, you know, how many pick option one and two, because that's either you're buying it or you're bringing your own. We have to worry about the option three number. That's what the school district's on the hook for. So we have that covered. And if whoever doesn't come next Tuesday will be on the phone. And
Rudy will be on the phone. She did a great job
That's
reaching out
exactly-
to all
yeah.
the other people, which is nice, but, so, so we were hoping for 6%.
that's what
To
Apple
opt out.
told us.
Right, that's what
yeah.
Apple,
Yeah.
that's what Apple told us, and then we're looking at like
Yeah.
18%.
Right, right, that's.
That's
But what
the
did
number,
Hamilton,
yeah.
what was the number
Like
that Hamilton
61.
Wenham gave us?
They started at like 8 or 10.
Okay, I
and
thought
then-
it was
and then
higher
kind of
than
nibbled
6.
away at it.
Yeah.
It was higher than 6. It wasn't 18 though.
No,
It
but
was
the second year
nominally
it did
higher.
go down though.
Yeah.
And it usually does year
Substantially.
after year, right?
I thought they said that like the first year was
Yeah.
like 10%, and then
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
almost
Yeah,
like,
that's what
I want to say it was like 10, 8, 6 or like
okay.
down by a percent. What is? I guess I was confused. What's the difference between these two
Yeah,
sets of
I
numbers?
couldn't look at that.
They didn't. They don't
Didn't
line
pan
up.
out.
I don't
And I
know
guess
what
I'm
they are.
seeing. I
That
don't
was
know
the
what numbers are.
email.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking
And
at
this
this.
is the option one on this one is 164, not 191.
Well, they both came from Colin, but different times.
Well, this one
So
came from Peter.
probably what happened is,
Which one?
That one
Here.
came-
oh, that one's from Peter? I don't know. This, I thought they both came from, this one I know came from Colin. just like before the day of the packet. I said we need the current
Okay.
numbers.
I made this from the spreadsheet that Rudy had.
And that was May 3rd, this
And-
So
was
this
May
is
8th.
newer.
Yeah, so let's ignore this.
So how do you get from one, this has as option 164, and you're saying 191.
I'm going
No.
with, 191 is the number Colin told me last Thursday. So,
And when I cook and I put the packet together on what day? Tuesday?
Okay.
This is the information he gave me.
what do these numbers add up to?
I'm
57,
not sure if
50?
he.
That's 164.
164. In mine,
It's not just off by a couple, that's why I'm,
yeah.
It's off by 30, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming he was operating from a list.
Yeah, but my list is only option 3. That's all I'm looking at.
The opt-out.
Okay,
Yeah, what I asked Colin for is breakdown by option based on
right.
people that he heard from.
So my option 3 is much larger than his.
He's 35, you 61,
Yeah.
almost twice, yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
mine's
like
more.
his
And this
better.
is for,
Oh,
this
did
is
you hear
5
that?
days
He thinks
later.
his is more accurate.
I'm just wondering, honestly, the 191 and 164, I get option 3 is the big one, I'm curious.
This is 5 days later,
Right.
but this was the end of our search.
So this is more real.
Yeah.
than-
This is a maximum number, because there were some 2, 3 things, or there were a bunch of people that still didn't answer, so I just counted them as
As
3.
threes,
So
okay.
worst case scenario, I think it's 61 worst case,
Okay,
and I think it'll be better than that.
61.
But I think just want to clarify, because if people are listening. So if next Tuesday people don't come,
Yep.
right? And they think they're gonna lease from us, but 2 weeks later, they call and say, oh, sorry, I missed the meeting on Tuesday. When can I sign up for my lease?
You can
What's
sign
the
up
answer?
until June 1. So
Online?
May 31st.
So-
It's due June 1.
So would you give them a link? How,
Yeah, I would if
that's what I'm just trying to establish. So it's sort of like you need to show up on Tuesday, because there's some information that they need in terms of what the device is you really want. But if for whatever reason you don't,
right,
June 1 is
the drop.
the
dead.
drop dead, right?
And
June 1.
that information will go on the morning announcements with the link, and then I can push it out.
Well, we
I'm
do it
not even
after
figured out how I want to do that.
have to word
I
it
don't
in
want to send the
particular.
link out now, because I don't.
Want people to come
I
out on
want
Tuesday.
people to come.
Right.
Because
So they can
if I
learn.
just send the link and they never communicate with us, they might sign up for a payment plan, and I won't order them anything because I won't know what they want. I won't even know that they signed up.
Well, and I have to put the prices in, so they
Yeah.
won't be able to make a payment.
Right.
But does the payment company talk to Apple?
Yeah.
Do
Probably
they?
not.
Right, probably not, so that's
Yeah,
the
'cause
thing.
they're
They'll
But
pay,
we're gonna-
But he won't know to order it.
Yeah.
I have to put the prices in
Yeah.
once the people tell us what they're
Yeah.
getting.
Right.
Yeah, so people go in and let's say they pick one-time payment, one payment.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they say. The fax doesn't
Oh,
know
that's
how
all-
much.
yeah, okay.
So we have to go and match the name with
To the
what they
device.
told us they wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I guess you put the price in? And then they know how much is due.
So we're urging people to go on Tuesday night. That's
Yes,
the,
please.
right, so you-
6:30 to 8.
and it was nice that they did a second night
Yep.
to come
They might
out.
have to do a third.
But maybe the link isn't even a good idea. Maybe you really just want people to come to the school, or at least to call.
Well, we do. There are a lot of questions people ask, and we're there. I don't know if fax will be there or not. Quite frankly, I don't think we really need them. They don't do too much. It's all set up on their website, so we just have a little shortcut on the desktop, and they click it, and bing, they go.
And
It-
where is it on Tuesday night?
It's go through the media center. It's in a lab, and there's not a long line to wait, because we have 20
Plenty of
computers at once, and it takes about 5 minutes.
But there'll be all kinds of signs in the lobby to direct people, because the media center is,
Yep,
for
and-
people who aren't
and-
terribly familiar with the whole layout
Some
of the school.
some student guides.
Student guides, yes.
Is there
Okay.
a possibility of doing maybe a morning sign up. If some people wanna come before work,
Yeah,
don't-
we
I
could
don't
do
know
that.
what people,
Yeah, the
what's
night
gonna
might
work
be
for
more
people.
But sometimes nights don't work for people.
Yeah, we could do that.
You'd have all that morning traffic.
Especially if it's you guys that are doing it, anyway.
Yeah.
And that's crazy enough right there.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it has
it's,
to be
it,
after school
they could walk in
starts.
any time
After
during the
school
day and we
starts.
could accommodate them. So we'll
Just
we'll
go
think
pretty
about,
early,
that's a
right?
great
I was
idea,
gonna
we'll
say
think
not-
about all kinds of,
Just throw a laptop in the lobby.
yeah.
That's right.
So this one, we're not using this, or only
I think we
because,
established that.
the only reason is, I'm not sure what not attending means
Yeah, on that.
on that chart.
That means
Oh, that means
they're not coming to school. They're not
planning
coming
to
to
go
our
to another
school.
school.
So that,
Oh.
you know,
Okay.
see the biggest numbers in the ninth grade?
Yeah,
Which is expected.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does that
And-
change our school choice? Commerce
No, that's
No,
about,
those are
That's
kids
about what
lea-
it
those are
is.
kids leaving.
that's about,
No, it's open seat.
and not
Oh,
at,
overseas.
that,
No.
not that many will leave either. Usually they say they're going and they don't.
We have 10.
Some of 'em.
10 ninth graders so far.
And then yet to respond, are we still waiting for 21 people?
Mm-hmm.
We are, even
Well, it doesn't
despite-
matter at this point,
Peter said he was counting them as a no.
Is,
counting them as a 3.
Okay.
So how do those numbers, if you add up those, say
77.
21,
Between the three bottom line, or not the, I'm sorry, 56.
21 in option 3 is 56?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's close.
I'll tell you what, we're gonna update the number.
Yeah.
Because we don't wanna confuse anybody. But I think it would make sense to kind of do this other date and, you know, we'll get you the actual number.
So that's where we're at.
Thank you,
Okay,
Peter.
good. Thank you for,
All right.
Thank you, Peter.
thank you for coming and good luck at the concert. I'm
Thank
sure
you
it's
so
gonna
much.
be beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, bye now.
All right, bye-bye, Peter, thank you.
Okay, Mike is here for,
He's just here
Just for
for
moral
the
support?
Yeah. He's here for the discussion on the budget.
Susan, 'cause
No,
I
he's
asked
not
him
here
to
for
come.
moral support. He's
I
here
didn't
to
ask him.
defend his choice.
He
It's his
wanted
number.
to come.
of 1 to 1?
You're always
Thank
welcome. We
you,
love
Mike.
to see you.
Wait, is he here for anything?
Yes, he is. He's here to talk about the memo on the budget.
Are you getting an iPad?
Just if you have any questions about this sonic wall.
Sonic wall or the shed.
Yes, the shed.
the shed.
That miraculously showed up.
This is a different.
So we're
It's a different, this is a different
different
shed.
shed.
All right, do we wanna talk about this now?
Probably, that
Yeah,
makes
let's
sense
do
if
that.
you don't mind. then
Yeah,
you
let's
can
do that.
Do the rest of your business. Oh, wait a minute, do you wanna do Michaela? Speaking of Michaela. Look, she doesn't wanna stay all night.
Sorry, we were just chatting.
Do you mind, Mike? Okay.
I'll be quick, I promise. But so, I mean, like, of course, tomorrow's prom.
Yes,
Like,
very exciting.
about it and stuff like that. So everyone's so excited about that. And I don't remember what else I was gonna say about that. But
New
Grand
place.
yeah, it's at the new place. It's at the Willowdale in Topsfield, which I'm so
Beautiful.
excited about. Like everyone, I haven't seen it yet, but everyone who saw it says it's like so beautiful, and it's like just a little something different. You know what I mean?
Now, Michaela, it's under a tent.
Yes.
So
it's
is it-
outside.
I know
But with
it's outside,
plenty
but-
of those heaters.
It's so it's gonna have heaters. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard it's like, even though it's outside, like, it's a
Yeah.
tent with sides
It's a tent
and.
with sides.
Yeah.
Is it
from
gonna
what I
rain?
understand.
What is the weather? I don't know.
Tomorrow it's gonna be
It's
like
supposed to be like
57.
50, but like
Tell you.
not raining.
But
Yeah,
not
that's,
raining,
all-
okay.
that's all that matters.
I know, I don't
That's all
see,
that
I don't
matters
see
to me,
rain
yeah.
on the
Right.
forecast, 53
Yeah.
and sunny and little
So,
clouds.
Good,
what time is Grand March?
5.
It's 5.
Yeah, that's what.
So what time does the prom start?
I believe 6.
Okay, till when? Like
Most likely
11?
10.
I think
That's
it was
usually 10.
6 to 10
Yeah.
is the
Usually
time frame? Okay, and so the forms of transportation, like what are your friends talking about?
So there's 60 parking spots at Willowdale, and then there's another parking lot that's like half a mile down the street that you can park at. So everyone's really encouraging carpooling, and so we have parking passes. They were given 60 parking passes, so I know all the seniors pretty much have their modes of transportation, but I know a lot of the juniors haven't figured it out yet. So like, they really need to step on it because like there's only 20
Tomorrow.
parking spots left and it's tomorrow. But and
Are
Right
there
now.
people taking like limousines, or what is that? What is the culture here?
I think so. Just because, I mean, I think that even schools that are far away usually do like school buses
Right.
now. Like I don't think limos for proms are as popular as
Good, I'm
they
glad
once
to hear
were.
that. 'Cause it's
Um,
already expensive enough.
Very expensive.
And that is a lot
and
to
it's like, I
pressure.
mean, Willowdale's only like 15 minutes away, so it was like you can just pretend you're in a limo for 15 minutes and it'll be the same thing. So you'll save like $100.
With those
so.
virtual reality things,
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
pretend anything
Yeah,
anymore,
except for
right?
the driver, but like everyone else, just enjoy the ride. So yeah, it's and no one was really gonna, I don't know, splurge for
Yeah,
that.
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's so much money. I don't know.
I'm excited for all of you though to experience. I love the Black Swan, and they're I
Yeah.
love the fact that they're in our community, but I think it's great that you have another alternative.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good idea. I just beg of all of you to just be smart,
Mm-hmm.
have fun, remember that it's a night that you'll always remember. So we just urge you to
Make them positive
Think,
memories, fun
yes.
memories.
Yeah.
So
Be
excited.
safe.
Share the
Memories,
message.
Be
Be
safe.
safe.
be safe.
Everyone be safe. I promise.
Yes.
Everyone's really excited about the food there this year, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is
because
it being catered?
I heard it's barbecue and a mac and cheese bar. So like everyone's amped, honestly. I don't know.
I went to a wedding with a mac and cheese bar. I know that can be really, really cool.
I
Yeah.
work for a catering company
they-
and like I'm always like that's always my job is scooping mac and cheese.
Yeah.
In a gown.
Very, very
Well,
popular.
I'm in
a
my
gown.
tux. Well, I'm like I don't know.
That's funny. That's great. No, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm nervous about.
I
But,
know.
like whatever. You're already there. The pictures were already taken.
It's true. Put the sneakers on.
Just in.
And now that you say that, I think you were supposed to order the pictures tonight, the formal pictures. Tonight was the deadline,
By
Suzanne,
tonight.
just so you know.
another
Pam,
text I gotta
right?
send
I didn't do that,
That
so I'll
sounds
have to
likely.
do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And you only have 14 more days? Is that
I
what they
think
said?
it's 13 as of tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm super
But who's
excited.
14
counting?
today.
14
That
as of
sounds like
today.
bad,
Who's
but like,
counting?
oh yeah, well, okay. As of today, the number 14 was still up in
Yeah.
the mall. Yeah. So, yeah, it's wicked exciting. It's like, it's interesting because I feel like every year that went by, like the seniors would leave and we'd all just be like, oh, like they're so lucky, like you know what I mean. And now it's like us, and it's like, I don't know. It's just not as special when you get to it. It's like, all right, like I guess I'll leave.
That's so
Whatever.
funny. That's funny.
That's
Now
sort
you're
of what
on the other
happens as
side
you
of
get
it.
older anyway. Everything's not quite so
I feel
special.
like it's just all like the hype
Right,
of getting older.
birthdays,
But then when you
and then
think about it
you're
now,
there.
it's like we actually have to like be out of
Wait till you're
Georgetown
this
and like
age.
not like what am I gonna do all day? But I don't know.
But when
Oh,
you
I'm
get
sure
to
your mother will
graduation,
find
it's
something
so
for you to do.
intense.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. I'll work,
You know, and
scoop more mac.
Well, yeah,
and
you've
cheese.
already been through it.
yes, I have, and it's very, very intense. And your family and the community, we just, you know, we realize how much we love you and how much we're gonna miss you, and how you're always welcome to come home. And you know, we're just
go.
yeah, it's, they want to go, we want them to stay, and it's very intense.
Such an
Very
emotional
so-
like few months that
Right.
I'm embarking on.
If you're, yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
It'll be
I
fine.
don't know.
But it's wonderful. It's a lot of fun, and the graduation ceremony is beautiful, and then the parties afterwards are you know
Yeah.
really wonderful and great memories.
Are you excited for
memories.
the evening in Boston?
Yeah,
Are the kids looking forward
that's
to
so
that?
exciting.
Oh.
I think our
What's
grades
that?
did
Different
like a
too.
lot
What's
of
that?
different things this year.
June 1st.
So yeah, so the senior trip in the past has always been whitewater rafting, and this year they had us vote like whitewater rafting or some like Boston excursion. So we're going there, and we have so many things. It's like the whole night. We're basically staying up all night. We have 4 hours in the BU dorms like to sleep, but I doubt anyone's even gonna sleep. And so it's gonna be like
Oh, you have a boat ride?
Yeah, we have like a midnight cruise or something.
Wow.
We have like Sky Zone.
It's like
Sky
Duck
Zone.
Zone, Duck
comedy,
Tour too, right?
A comedy show, I think.
Wow,
And then in the morning we wake
awesome.
up and we go on like Codzilla and stuff like that. So it's
Oh, Godzilla.
yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
That is great to have all those activities.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
You guys are gonna be
It's gonna be so
exhausted.
cool because you get to spend time with everyone and not just like the people on your boat. But
Somehow I think they'll find the energy to get through and enjoy.
I
I
know.
know. That was a lot of work for all those
Yeah, they
parents
put
that
so
put it
much
together.
effort into that. Like,
Every year they do. It's a lot of
Great
work.
idea. Great idea.
Suzanne, they'll be looking for people next year to take over the.
You do a great job, Barbie.
I won't have a student
Won't
next
have
year.
a student next year.
Oh, that's right.
Get a reprieve for a year.
Yes, thank goodness. Well, that's great. We wish you all the best. Because our next school committee meeting, will you still be here? It might be, it's
The 25th.
25th, I'll still be
Yes,
here.
Yeah,
yes.
she'll come the last.
Yeah, right, I'm
And
sure.
just come anyhow.
Yeah. If not, I'll just
You
show
got
up.
nothing else to do.
Yeah, apparently. I have nothing else to do, so, you know what I mean?
That's good.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Michaela, having
Let's
you
see.
for sure.
Yes.
Now, all the students are done with their AP exams, the AP
Yeah.
students.
Yes, that was like,
That was dedication. They were there on the professional development day upstairs.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
They were. They were up in the Pearly, second floor.
And well, they
Testing.
were there. They were there on that Friday before the professional day because I was dropping stuff off at Pearly for the teacher luncheon, and we're huffing up the stairs, and then there's signs.
Testing, quiet,
we're
yep.
Testing. I'm like,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, that's funny.
I hope the teachers
Well,
had good luncheons. I
Oh,
know.
it was
Oh,
really
I
nice.
know they
Teacher
appreciate.
appreciation.
It was
I know
so
they
nice.
love the luncheons and,
Yeah.
and the food, and
They did.
I hope
There was so much food, and
you
they
know,
did
we
it in
can
3
provide
locations.
enough food
Yeah.
for them. I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, there was.
I saw some
Plenty of
pictures.
food.
of
Oh,
it.
good. Good.
It was unbelievable.
Good.
I don't know how people even do like the multiple AP tests in like the 2 weeks. Like I took one, and then my brain was fried for the next like 3 days. I like couldn't think about anything. It's a lot.
It's
It's
a
like
lot.
5 hours of just thinking, like on you
Just
have to
you
be like
wait.
so focused and like I don't know. I took the Spanish one, so it was like if you missed what they said, like sorry, like you know what I mean. So it was like
There wasn't a rewind button.
I don't know how it goes.
I'm sure you did great.
Well, good for you.
Thanks.
You're not so sure, but I'm sure you did.
We'll see, honestly.
Nothing you can do about it now, anyway, right?
Exactly. So
moving
we'll-
forward.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, good for you. Where are you going?
I'm going to Miami University in Ohio.
Oh,
The tricky one.
Yeah. I know. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna have such nice weather." I'm like,
Like,
"I
no,
know,
I
isn't it?"
know.
It is tricky.
Congratulations.
Thanks. so
Yeah,
much.
good for you. That's great. How far of a drive is that?
It's like 50. I'm flying. I'm
Yeah,
not
sure,
driving
but I'm thinking
15
for your
hours.
parents.
I was like,
So you won't be coming home as often as some.
no, but my aunt lives out there, like about 30 minutes
That's a
away.
big
so,
help. That's a
yeah,
huge help.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I have someone out there. I'm not too worried.
What was it about that school that, just curious?
Was it Ohio?
Ohio's a wonderful
I know,
place.
like everyone's like, well, we have so many good schools around here, and you're going to Ohio. But
It's a really good school.
yeah, I have a
Yes,
friend
it
who
is.
went there
Yes,
this
it is.
year
Oh, okay.
as a freshman.
Have great
and
reputation.
He was like, oh, like you would love it here, like you should apply. And then my mom's boss's daughter went there, and she was like, you should apply, you'd love it there. And I was like, well, okay, I'd love it there. And so I applied, and I loved it there. And so yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And do you have a
Now,
major?
did you visit before you applied or after you got
After.
accepted?
After I got
Yeah.
accepted, I visited like maybe like 3 weeks ago. Like it was like they were like, all right, you have like 1 week to make your decision. So like,
Right.
hurry up.
No pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, I didn't really like love any of the other schools anymore. So I was like, okay, like no pressure, but like hope I like this one, and I did. So it's okay.
Oh, good.
But
Good.
yeah.
Yes. And have you picked a major?
I'm currently undecided, but I'm gonna major in strategic communication. But
Hmm.
yeah, I have to double major if I do that. So like, I'll figure out the other one. But I don't know. We'll see.
I have no doubt you'll figure it out.
I don't either.
You'll do wonderfully.
Like everywhere.
I'm sure it was something good.
That's great.
We'd love to hear how well you're doing. You can update us.
Thanks.
I'm sure I'll see your mom and she'll tell me all about it.
Yeah, probably like at like Crosby's or something. I don't know.
That is the place to see people in Georgetown.
Yes,
is
exactly.
Crosby's, right?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michaela.
Okay.
Now we'll talk about the budget.
We can talk about the budget, and the interesting thing that I found with this is to see that there was additional money in the special ed account, right? Was it-
Yes.
Right? Did you all feel that way? It's like,
Well,
wow, really?
it wasn't going that direction.
Yes, I know,
Right.
but I'm just happy to see
But
that.
Jack had some, as you know, we encumber, based on what we know,
Mhm.
like, we know there's X amount of kids that are getting transportation, we encumber that money. Same thing with tuitions. But sometimes what happens is during the course of the year, like in the case of this year, one of the transportation, contracts that we had, the child left, we didn't end up needing that, so that money is still there, we've encumbered it. And then the other thing was a tuition, for an outside placement that changed, right? So it was like a $35,000, change. So that was
Positive
that's
side.
what turned it, positively.
So do any of those carry over to next year? Like, does this? Oh, come on.
I know Suzanne's going, no.
You can hope, but no.
Spend it now.
No, you can't carry that money over.
No, I don't mean carry over, but like,
Right,
do
but
any
the
of
changes-
those changes impact
The
our
numbers
numbers
that we
for
had.
next year?
Potentially.
Oh,
that's what I was
That's what you
asking.
meant. Oh, I didn't know what you meant.
Yeah,
Oh, here I got
well-
your just.
Well, yeah, it could.
Yeah.
It could.
Okay.
Well, it depends on who the student is, right?
That's what.
So-
Yeah, that's what.
exactly,
I was.
So, the,
Especially that one that
I mean,
changed,
sometimes
the
what happens is,
collaborative
pe-
change.
right, sometimes it's a change in program,
Right.
right? So it's the student is still there, but they're going from a less expensive school, a more expensive school to a less expensive school.
So in that case, maybe.
Okay. Well, that's better
Well,
than.
when we budget, as you know, we budget, Suzanne and Jack sit down and they know exactly what kids and where they're going. It's just that sometimes during the course of the year,
It changed.
things change.
No,
But it could have gone the other way too. We could have ended up with a student or two who needed to go out of the district, which we hadn't budgeted for.
Right, because the important
So-
thing is
so
we're
we
meeting
were a
the
little
students'
surprised too.
needs and they're in the appropriate
I thought we were
program.
looking at $75,000 in transportation that we were in the hole. That's kind of been standard right along, and the fact that those couple of things changed, made it possible for us to have some money. So,
Okay.
what can we do to help you with this? Suzanne, I thought, did a really thorough job of trying to explain to you
You did.
in each little area why we were recommending what we were recommending.
So my first, I'm just gonna jump ahead. I have two questions on the shortfalls. One being food services is more than I thought
Yeah.
we were gonna be. Is that new
Yes.
information or is that rounding up to be safe?
I think that rounding it up is to be a little bit safe, but I really feel like it's necessary to cover the prepaids.
Okay.
And that hasn't necessarily been done in the
Mhm.
past.
Okay.
How often is it if people do leave a balance in there that they ask for it at the end of the school
I
year?
don't think we've
Not
ever
very
seen that.
often.
No,
They usually carry it over, is
They
that
carry it
correct?
over.
it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
stays
Right.
on there,
But
right?
what you see is like, you're getting toward the end of the year now, right, so people know
It'll-
what their
it'll go
balance
down.
is.
Yeah,
So
it'll
they're
go
saying,
down.
oh, it's only for the next 2 weeks, so I'm gonna, if my child eats lunch 10 days,
So
this is what
what
I need.
can, senior parents do? Can they transfer
they-
it to an
They
existing?
could transfer
to
it to,
other kids?
to another kid, or they can request a refund.
So, I have a question. Why can't there be a family account rather than each kid having an individual account? Because if one kid is low on their balance or,
Or
has zeroed out
zero.
on the balance, why can't you borrow from the other kid? Or just have a family account, which really makes the
I
most
just
sense.
don't know if NutriKids has it set up that way.
Well, let's
I don't know, we could
find
ask,
out.
we can ask.
Yeah, I can ask.
Yeah,
Is that a
I
lot
think,
to ask?
No.
Okay.
It's totally set up to each kid's
Yeah.
student ID.
It's a student ID.
Yeah.
Right, but
That's probably
You're
why.
allowed
But if you
by
could
the
map
it.
numbers,
When you
but you're
go-
right, if
But
there
the
are
question is if
more
you
than
can
one
map it, we'll have to
children,
look into that.
yeah, it just would make a whole lot
or to
more
connect them
sense.
somehow, like,
And also as
like
a
if you
parent
put
of 3
one,
kids.
if you put one ID in, like say it's one of your children, but then the other, additional, or, it could pop up, I don't know.
Yeah.
We
might
can
be.
look into it.
Kind of,
You know, it
probably
could- it
depends on
might
how
be-
the
it might be
program is set
possible.
up. Does
Yes,
you
it
know?
has to do with whether the software can do
Well, the
that.
other thing too is every time
Right.
you add
Well,
money,
then
you're
the picture
charged a
comes
little
up.
fee.
Right.
So it's like, I've got 3 little fees.
Yeah,
Not
it's
that they're much money.
$1.75. Yeah.
I'm just saying, but
Right.
you know,
It's
you are
$2 a pop.
charged. Every,
Yeah, it
Unless
adds
you
up.
send in a
It does,
check
it
like
adds
I
up.
do.
or
Yeah,
you
you
but
can
you know,
still
it's
do
just
it
so
Because my
much easier
husband's
to do
allergic,
it online.
he's
I just,
allergic to
Fees.
fees.
We've
I
heard
just
that.
sit there
Yeah.
online and
Make a
do it,
note
but
to
I'm just
look
saying,
into
to just
that.
do it once for all 3 would make
It
more
really is the
sense.
quickest system I've ever used though, isn't
It's
it?
great.
Because it has your credit card there, and
What,
you
the
just
My
hit
School Bucks?
submit.
It really
Yeah,
is. It
yeah.
just brings you right
Yeah,
to the
when
site
you think
and
about
you just click
what was
on
it, Unibank we used to
Unibank.
use, which
Yeah.
was not very user friendly. This definitely is a step in the right direction, but we'll look
It's
into
easy.
whether or not that could be mapped.
That'd
If
be
it
great.
can't, then the answer will be no, but we can look into it for you. So it does make sense.
My other question on the expense side was the student activities. I could be wrong. I thought we budgeted 30.
It was 60.
Was it 60?
It's usually 60.
It's just
We
not
have-
a-
we have
it's-
really not changed
Okay.
that
Yeah.
at
I
all.
thought it was okay. It was 30 in my head, so 60.
It's just not encumbered, so that's why
Right.
it's count. I
That's
have
why I
it
said to
counted.
her,
No, which
please
makes
put
perfect
not
sense.
encumbered,
I-
because it will be confusing
Yeah.
otherwise.
Okay.
We always planned to spend it, it just wasn't encumbered.
Well, it's, yeah.
And everybody's now sending their slips in
It's
for
the end of the
payment.
year to-
Right,
Yeah, it's the end of the year where they get all paid out.
So there's gonna be some new copiers that we're needing.
Yes. Yes. So
Yes.
you wanna explain, like, they're coming off.
Well, we
of-
have 2 leases coming up, one in August and one in October.
Okay.
One in August is the business office one, and then the October one is Peter's office.
Mhm.
So, but then he had told me that he needed one in the media center, cause that one's completely dead.
That's the one the students use. And staff.
So when we talked to Cameron, he suggested, maybe buying out one of the ones that are coming off, cause they're not a dollar buyout, they're just gonna come pick them up. I guess this was a different kind of lease that was
Oh,
done
really?
this
Why-
last
yeah,
time.
I know you don't know.
I
Why
don't
weren't they
know.
dollar buyouts?
I don't know, they were just
Yeah.
different leases.
Hmm.
So he said, if you buy the one, like the business office one, we go over to the media center. And then, we could buy the 2 for Laura and then one for Peter's office. And then when Peter's comes up in October, it would just get taken away.
You just come and take it.
Every school district beats copiers up,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, oh, I
mean,
know, they use
we-
it so
we
often.
overextend the number of copies,
Right.
but we try to keep up with the maintenance of them where
Right.
we can.
Do we still have the codes
We do not.
for no, you got rid of that?
And it's nice to have a color copier in every building because we didn't have it for the budget and then,
Laura runs over uses the
Laura's
Pembroke
got
one.
it's just,
Definitely. Yeah, in this day and
it's
age.
really.
But the kids can't use the color copier.
No,
Right,
and,
that
and
the
you can
media
shut
center
and
is-
you can shut it off so that it's only black.
Accidentally
Yeah.
do color or-
Yeah, unless you ask it to use it. Yeah. But he's also given us the 6-year coverage, which is more
Yeah,
than we
which-
get.
Is that 6 years? I couldn't tell the way you wrote it. Is
Maintenance.
it 6 years with supplies or
Yeah,
just
it's,
like?
Everything
which is a
but
good
paper.
deal.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
So maintenance, ink cartridges and staples.
Yep.
And then just the paper we have to purchase. That is a good deal, cause those cartridges are very pricey. I don't know about these ones in particular, but
Well, it'll be for the color copier
in
too.
general.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. So that's a
But that
deal.
was a good deal.
Okay.
My other question was on the iPads for the 4th grade.
That's Margaret. So when we got down to,
And
sort
she's
of
not here,
And
so-
she's not here,
We got
yeah.
down, well, I can probably answer. So we got down to sort of the $90,000 range. And so we decided, well, actually, Peter suggested that
They
the
split it.
schools should be able to split that money because their budget's been frozen and they haven't been able to get the things that they, wanted to get. So we didn't disagree with that. We said, all right, but tell us what you'd like. So Margaret wants these iPads. Because you virtually have almost a 1-to-1 opportunity in the 5th and 6th grade. And the 4th grade ends up having to share an iPad cart. And, this year we're testing the kids, we were testing the kids in 4th grade. And we had to figure out how to borrow, iPads from the other 2 grades. And she says that the teachers really feel like they would use the iPads if they were in their class. So this would buy a set of iPads for each class. It's, what is it, 60? So it's like, there's gonna be, remember, there's only four grades.
There'll be 5 next
So
year.
there are 5 next year.
It's fine.
So what did she tell me? So this is what she said she needed.
So it's based on what they already have.
That they
Right.
might
So
already
they
have
needed
some.
80 additional to cover every single child in 4th grade next year.
Right, that's what she's hoping for. And then we decided not to get the carts, she wanted to just get the charging, so the ability to, they don't want to have to worry about the cart, so they've got these, apparently these things, you slip the iPad in and it automatically, and they're much less expensive than the full cart. So that's why Margaret wants them. She figures that instructionally, they'll use them all the time. She feels that, you know, to get the kids using them will make it easier when they have to do the state testing. You know, one point she was talking about Chromebooks, and then thought that it would make more sense to just stick with the iPads with the keyboards.
Right, well, because I know the 4th grade struggled with the sharing and
Yes.
the other
What
grades and
does that
sharing
equate
with each
to?
other. And they needed, especially the
$500 each?
4th graders needed to practice the typing
Typing.
before the test.
Right. She said that based on the 4th grade teachers, what they're telling her is they would use them. You know, just as, I mean, you know, people have said, well, when you give the kids the computers, are they gonna use them all the time? No. It's not designed to replace the teaching and learning process. It's designed to be a tool. Just like if you buy your child an iPad at home, you're not expecting your child to be on the iPad 24/7. You're expecting them to be on there for whatever it is that you or they need you to do. So that's the rationale
I
for
guess
why she
I'm
wants them.
I'm gonna use the word confused. That's not the right word. But
What?
we're doing the one-to-one at the high school and telling parents to go buy them or lease them or whatever.
And now we're gonna get
And
80
now, yeah.
as a one-to-one for the 4th grade. Just, why don't you just give them to the high school?
Well, because they had money to split and
I'm
that's,
ju- I'm
no,
just
I know
saying,
what you're
you
saying,
know,
but
it's
that, it was
really-
like,
You're,
No, I
again,
totally
I mean,
get it.
Again, we looked at it and said, we're gonna take the money and we're gonna split it, so the school gets to decide what they'd like to spend their money on, and that's what Margaret's priority is. That's really the answer to the question. I hear what you're saying, but
It
that's
just
the
doesn't
answer.
to feel very strategic.
I'm not sure why you don't think it's strategic, because now what Margaret's going to do is she's saying, I've got five computers in each class up to grade 4, plus the access to the carts, which seems to be sufficient for what the kids in those grades need. She's saying that if she had her chance in the building project, she would have asked for iPads as low as 4th grade. It wasn't part of the budget, it wasn't possible. And this year, because of, as Cheryl's saying, because they had the experience with sharing them and they had the online testing, that, you know, the teachers didn't feel that the kids had, you know, an adequate opportunity to be familiar with what they were going to be facing. You know, if she's, this is her priority in her mind with her teachers based on what she feels she has money to spend, that's gonna get her the biggest strategic value.
It's kind of,
That's how she sees it, right? I mean, she's not
Extending
here,
the
but that's.
thing is, the kids aren't, it's not like the kids are getting the iPads and able to take them home.
Oh, no, no,
things
no,
like
no,
that.
no,
But
no.
no, I see where the,
They're in the
it's a
classrooms,
conundrum.
just like, right, but it is different than than at the middle high school, because we are expecting the kids to be able to use them, you know, we expect them to use them more at the high school, and to take them home, and to use them, that these guys are, it's really just a classroom tool when the teacher needs to have them do it, or they're working on a project in class or something like that.
Would
So I
each
think it is a
child be
little different.
designated
No, no,
their
no,
own?
no, it's a class set.
Okay,
It's
so
just
they
a
could
class
have
set.
one day and,
Right. Yeah, they're not gonna, so at one point with the middle high school, I'm sorry, the 5th and 6th grade, we had talked about, initially, when we were talking about technology there, we were gonna assign a laptop to each student. And they were gonna be taking it from class to class. But then we thought about that and said, you know what, that probably isn't the best idea, because if kids leave them behind, or they drop them, or, you know, there's more things that could happen in that way. So that's why we said it stays in the classroom. So if the math teacher wants to do a math lesson and says we're gonna grab the iPads, they always know they're there, and they're available to the kids in the class. So that's, I think Margaret's druthers would have been to have the classroom sets of iPads. We just didn't get them with the building project, because the money only went so far.
so what is Peter choosing to do with his?
He also wants technology,
Okay, oh, it's right here, the 23
Macs
iMacs
for the
for the
middle high
lab.
school.
Right. 2 iPad cards
Right.
and an ebook subscription for 1 year for the 10th grade US history
Remember
curriculum.
when we did we talked about the leases and we talked about replacing the labs? We couldn't replace one of the labs because we were having to deflect some of the money into this initiative for the one-to-ones, as well as we had to set some money aside for the lease payment that we might have to make. And so Peter's saying if we do have the money, he would prefer that we go back to getting that Mac lab replaced. Because he feels like Martha Dodge uses that all the time for her video classes and her web page and all, all the things in her particular area. So that's what Peter wanted.
So is that the 90,000?
ebooks.
Is that what we're coming up with? That's the
And the ebooks, he
90,000?
wanted to just try it, one subscription.
I assume so, yeah.
But, I'm sorry, Barbara, what
These
were you
two
asking?
figures come up with,
In
that's
that-
the
in that
90,000?
vicinity.
Yeah,
in
it was
that
roughly
vicinity.
45 each.
Yeah.
And
Right,
who
and I'm-
else uses the iMacs in the lab?
That's
Would
Peter.
it be right,
That's Peter.
Well, I know, but I mean the students in the classes, like computer programming.
It's the
Um,
classes Martha Dodge teaches. It's Martha Dodge's lab.
Okay.
So, it's, yeah, I think, I don't know if it's computer programming.
I mean,
I think it's more design. I think it's more,
I don't know what she
but I mean,
She
when
does
students
video.
from different classes use it?
maybe, but that's actually her teaching lab.
Okay,
That's actually
that's
her
where they would
teaching
go.
lab.
okay.
Right. Yeah, because the labs at the high school, we've been trying to upgrade them on a rotating basis. And these are the labs that strategically were in our plan to replace. But if we have this money, we want them to delay the replacement for another year, we could just do it. And Peter says that's the lab that he thinks is the most in need.
So where is this lab physically?
I believe it's on the first floor. I think
Yeah,
it's
that's
down
where
on the
her
science
classroom is.
wing.
Okay.
Sort of down near the
Newer
new,
wing.
the new
The
rooms
newer-
we created, right?
Okay.
Are these iPads, these 80 iPads, gonna be ordered through the one-to-one?
No,
Like-
it would be different.
It would be different, but we go through Apple
Yes, yeah.
and get the,
Yes.
It's a pretty marginal discount that they provide.
I know, I was
Anyway, so-
surprised at how, yeah,
It
it is
is.
minimal, right.
They don't give much,
10 bucks
that's
a
true,
device or
Michael, they
something-
don't give
something.
much, yeah. Yeah.
They'll come with, the keypads, the keyboards?
I believe so, yeah, the quote that Peter got the quote. Yeah.
I mean, the principals both place a high priority on technology. And now that they've got quite a bit,
Money, right.
now that they have quite a bit of technology,
Yeah,
they wanna
wants more,
continue
yeah.
to,
I'm pretty sure, but I can double check on that, I
Yeah.
don't.
I'm not sure, there may be some key.
He said with the Apple Care, obviously that
Yeah,
comes
I don't
with
think
it,
it's
but
the
I'm not
keyboards.
sure. No, you don't think?
I don't think so, but I
keyboards?
think there are a lot of keyboards around,
Okay,
I don't,
I can double check with him then.
but we will double check, but. It's just that they want the device.
Okay, so Mike is requesting a storage building kit, so you're gonna, do you wanna come up?
Yeah, come on up.
They can answer.
Mike can't talk about the iPads, but he can talk about the kit.
But we do have a lot of keyboards, though, I do know that.
Yeah.
We have extra at Pembroke, so.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So the kit, so you will build it, you and your,
Yeah, it's like a pole building,
people will build it?
Yeah.
So how big is it?
like 30 by 36. We're gonna-
Well,
we're
how does
gonna-
it relate to the one at the middle high school baseball field? Is it that size? Bigger, smaller?
No, it's bigger than that.
Bigger than that,
But we're gonna
It is.
put a section in there and let the GAA use some of it because they have a lot of equipment over there too that they need to store.
So where's it going?
On Pembroke, on one of the
On
lower
other side of
field.
the-
You won't even see it from the ground because it's way down at the bottoms of the hills, kind of where there's some
By the playground?
hut top where the playground used
Yeah,
to be.
okay.
Yeah.
I haven't even been, I go to.
It's
Peaks
Oh,
and
I know
valleys.
it's-
It's peaks and
Yeah.
valleys.
Yeah, I really haven't been
Yeah, you
over
won't see
there
it through the
much.
peaks and
You
valleys.
won't see it.
Mount Pembroke is blocking it.
Mount Pembroke. Is it gonna be nice looking in
Yeah, it's
terms
nice
of
looking.
the?
It's gonna be match the colors.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
because the other shed I think looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll
It's
look
not,
similar
like I
to
was a
that.
little
There was a lot
concerned,
of
like
discussion
driving up
about
to
that
this new
shed.
school and having like a shed, but it actually looks really nice.
It looks like
Yeah.
a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this will look
Believe me,
similar
that
to
was,
that.
that, there was
Yeah,
a lot of
well,
discussion
remember we
on
talked about that, we're like, that's not a shed, that's like a,
This shed is similar,
Yeah, it's a
similar in
small little
size,
house.
but there'll be no, that,
Oh,
the
it's-
shed we
it's-
have
it's
has
similar
electricity
size.
and stuff. This shed won't have a second floor, but, it won't have electricity or anything, but it's mainly just to store stuff, because we have a lot of attachments and things that we've purchased. This winter from the town's insurance, we got a grant for a sander and different things for our trucks. So it's good to keep all that stuff
yeah,
inside
in-house.
instead of outside
Now
in the
you're
wet.
gonna need a golf cart to go from one to the other.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll be
Do you wanna
I need the, I need the
Yeah.
exercise.
Quest
so.
next year.
Maybe someone could donate one of those.
There you
Great
go,
idea,
yeah.
donation, huh?
I used to,
We have the
I
little
was
golf
working
cart.
on Chris Rich to do that. He had a bunch of those
He
really cool
did,
little
in his
golf
house,
carts.
yeah. Oh, it's a name from the past.
I know.
I mean, it seems like we have pods and stuff everywhere. Our plan would be to get rid of some of the pods.
I'm happy about
And,
that, because they
um,
look awful.
So there's 5 pods at the high school.
Yeah.
3 of those are the schools and 2 are GAAs. So, I mean, there's stuff everywhere. So, like,
Consolidate.
yeah, we're going to try to consolidate and
Be a little
at
more
least get rid of
efficient.
our pods. There's one pod behind Pearlie, too. So we would get rid of that one as
And
well.
we're paying for those pods.
Yeah,
Is
we
that right?
pay, I don't want to.
600 each
Yeah, okay.
A month?
a year.
Oh, a year. Oh,
not
that's
terrible.
less than what I thought.
No, but over time,
But yeah,
it'll
over
pay
time,
for itself.
totally,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you can actually be organized.
Yeah. I mean, when you put stuff in a pot, it takes forever to get what's in the back.
You have to empty the
If
whole
you
thing.
even know
That's
it's back
true.
there.
That's very true.
Okay,
And you know,
so,
you store stuff, then you don't
Forget
look
it's
at
there,
it,
yeah.
right?
5 years
So,
later,
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
oh, that-
Oh, maybe we could have got rid of that 5 years
Should have
ago.
thrown that out, yeah.
and so how long does it take you to build this shed?
It'll be a project we do over the summer. So it'll take some time in between
Along with our
everything else.
coffee shop at
Yeah.
the high school.
Yeah.
I
Are the
hope
stool-
that
are the-
happens,
are the
because I'm
stools on
already,
there?
That this
I'm
summer.
already advertising that.
Are the stools on there?
Sorry?
Are the stools on there or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you need something else?
No, no, no. I was getting prices for coffee shops. So.
Oh,
Furniture.
oh, okay.
That's right, we didn't put that on here.
No.
Anyway.
Find a funding source for that, Michael.
Talk
So
about the sonic walls because you're there.
Yeah.
Why? I guess why
I've never even heard of that
is this?
before.
It's firewalls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the short
Firewalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard of that.
Why is this in sort of end of the year free cash and not a
Already,
budgeted
yeah.
part of the one-to-one project? It's a known need. So I guess my question is when because I know we asked a whole bunch of times about budgetary impact.
I thought it actually was in the budget.
There was some money
I
for
think-
firewall
I think
in the
there-
technology
yeah, I
budget, but
think
it
there-
wasn't,
It certainly wasn't
Adequate?
23.
it wasn't for everything. We were just going to try to
Well, we
do
have
the
that.
high, increase the high school. And this year we had to buy one for the high school. Well, maybe you can.
Yeah, so I forget the model numbers, but we bought a smaller version for the high school, which we could afford because the high
Because we had
school's
to,
crashed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we had to. That technically might work for the one-to-one, but it's kind of like, getting 10 people through that door at the same time, so we're gonna get a much bigger sonic wall for the high school to handle all the traffic of one-to-one. The sonic wall at the high school we're gonna bring to Pearlie because,
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, there's not as many users, although we do, all the business office and whatever, and we do stream the security cameras there, so it does take some speed. And then we're gonna get the sonic wall at Pembroke now came from the old Pembroke, because at the time, whatever reason that was decided, but it's like a residential sonic wall at Pembroke right now. So even though at Pembroke we have 150 over 150 for files, it drags a lot because everybody has to get through the same, little sonic wall. So Pembroke needs to be upgraded, and it's working, but we see this as a chance to
Yeah,
upgrade it
right.
for something that.
So that's the answer. So it was always part of the technology budget to replace the one at the high school.
Okay.
But we knew we could get by with the Pembroke one, So the plan would be to have gotten that next year, but the request here is if we do have the money, we'd do it this year, and then all of our sonic walls will be,
And this will qualify for E-rate
E-rate,
as
I see
well.
that.
So
It's like a
it'll
40%
be
reimbursement,
23
yeah.
up front, but we will see some money.
So,
Oh, so the 23 is not the net. The 23
No,
is the
No, right.
it's the-
initial. out.
yes,
Okay.
because we are buying it now as opposed to.
do we get 40%
And you get the reimbursement back.
Yes.
It says 40%.
Yeah.
We can't have them installed until FY18.
Until what?
Until
FYE.
after July 1st.
Okay.
So you can buy them this year, but
Well, yeah, because I have an E-rate consultant, and I asked her that question because I didn't want it to disqualify the purchase, and she said, no, it's perfectly fine.
As long as you don't install.
Usually, school districts wait because they want to find out exactly how much money they're going to get back.
right.
But so we would be choosing to not do that by purchasing them now. But
Okay.
And we are also upgrading the internet speed at all three schools, so Pembroke and the high school will be like 300 over 300. And Burley right now gets free Comcast, so it's like 20 over 5.
All right, so can you just, what does that mean? Like,
It's just
to
the
me?
speed.
It's tech talk.
I know, but is that like?
So like at home,
that's-
you probably have 25 over 5. So 25 download, 5 upload. So whenever you upload something, it uploads much slower than when you are surfing the web.
Okay,
So kind of the enterprise version is 150 over 150, same, much faster, same over
both
same,
download over
but you're
upload.
dividing it
upload.
among 100 users instead of
Yeah, 5.
5 or
Right,
whatever.
okay. But that's
So-
good.
So 300 over 300
Bigger
we
is
is
went to
good.
300
Yeah.
over 300, except for Pearly, right?
Yeah, except for
Pearly
Pearl,
is
yeah.
Yes.
Well, that was a good explanation.
Yes, that's
It
good.
made sense. Less non-tech talking people.
Right, I know, I get very intimidated when I hear like these things, and sometimes I don't feel comfortable saying, can you tell me? Now, I'm okay with saying, I don't know what you're
Because
talking about, because I'm just
you'll
not
know,
that
then
techy.
you'll have that information.
Right, exactly. Can I just ask about the science curriculum?
Yes.
So the 50,000 is that's what we got from,
That's all.
That's the all-in.
that's all in,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And,
That'd be great.
yeah, I am excited for that. I didn't go on use my password and everything that they gave me, but I talked to Cheryl today about it, and I was, happy to hear that Cheryl thinks that it's, like, I mean, I did a lot of research on it just on the website itself and looking, through other schools that use it. But you were saying that you really thought it was great.
I mean, the choices that go with the engage, explore, explain are unbelievable.
That's good.
I would be curious to know what the professional development plan would be for it, because there's so much.
Right.
I mean, I could have spent an entire day, in the different areas.
Right, so they'll fine tune exactly what particular units they're going to do, because as you said, there's so much.
Right.
And then they'll do the training on that. It's a trainer of the trainers, I believe, train the trainers. But Colin, we were talking about that the other day at administrative team, in terms of planning next year's professional development, like how many days would we use for it? And our expectation is that that's a significant part
It's out of the hot
part of the PD next year,
Right.
is the training on the science
Right.
curriculum.
And
And the project Lead the Way, because that's also training intensive.
just in going through it,
Yes.
my feel was they need significant
PD.
PD.
We agree.
Good to know.
But it's good.
Makes sense.
Good, good.
But that's exciting, and the teachers over
exciting.
there must be happy with
I
that choice.
think they're looking forward to having
And this
science
is every
curriculum.
grade.
Every grade.
Great.
I'm stuck on this. I'm sorry.
Stuck on.
What are you stuck on?
It appears that
We'll have to
we're
unstick you.
the Macs and the iPads that we're outright purchasing them. We're not leasing them.
Right.
Why wouldn't we lease them? Why wouldn't we lease them? I'll just ask the question that way.
The 4th grade ones you're talking?
That and the Macs
That,
for
the
the
max
Oh,
middle
middle high
school.
school, or the
Well, we don't have lease
'Cause-
money in.
Because we don't necessarily have the money in year 2 and year 3.
Exactly.
Right.
And we have the money now to spend.
How significant of a savings would that be?
Well, you pay it over
I-
time.
It would be a
Yeah.
third.
Right, so
Round
you're not-
numbers
right,
would be a
sure.
third of the expense. There's some financing fee involved.
Yeah, yeah.
Call it
So
a
you're
third.
just saying not to,
Right.
Give
So
it-
instead of spending 76,000,
And
spend
then-
25.
And then have them obsolete in a number of years.
We usually use them, we don't upgrade our things every 3 years, so, you know, we usually use our technology.
I think what I'm
quite a while.
most, it's less so the specifics of all of these things, but we hear from Peter and Margaret, we have a budget freeze and it's hard and we can't do the things that we want and it's, we spend 8 months out of the year with the freeze and we're not allowed to buy anything. And none of these are sort of, what I interpret, and I might be wrong, is sort of day-to-day teaching needs that it seems that they're saying it's a budget freeze, we can't buy what we need. None of these seem like we're catching up on the things that we told them that they couldn't buy for the last however many months. These seem like, hey, we have money, how do we want to use it? Because Margaret wasn't saying in September, I really want $39,000 to buy 80 iPads,
right.
unless I missed it.
Well, but I also think
No,
in
but
terms
And
of
not to beat up
that-
on that example, but
She wouldn't ask for that, I mean, we built the budget. The
But
things that they,
we're clearly not spending or $247,000 on stuff that we budgeted that they said on September 1st that they needed. This list to me doesn't look like we are buying on June 1st those things that they needed so that they'll have them.
no, we're buying the science curriculum, which they would need for their day-to-day curriculum.
Right, but that
We're
isn't.
looking at copiers, which, you know, that helps them with their day-to-day work. Yeah, I mean, basically, they're not buying supplies.
But they weren't
and
buying
material.
$250,000 worth of supplies.
No, I know that. I mean, again, where we're,
Well, part of that 250 was the 78 that you had left over
from
from the
special.
salaries last year.
That's right, we had the
Remember.
78 from the salaries.
That was
Remember,
the-
we were
putting that
holding that in
contingency
abeyance.
money.
Okay.
So
And
it really
then,
brings
and
it
then,
down,
and then you have the sped
that's
situation
the
worked
other-
out to the,
Yeah.
and that
Right,
was
yeah, top.
significant.
which
But that's a significant amount of money.
No, I guess I'm stuck on the 250 that we told them that they were not allowed to spend, or the 175 if you take out the hiring
Salaries.
difference, the salaries.
well, I think
Yeah,
that
I don't think we told them that they couldn't spend it. I mean, we froze the budget, so things like textbooks and some of the supplies that the schools don't have very much.
But we're
Our
not buying
budget-
any of that though. I guess that's what I'm not getting is
Because they-
if Peter wanted textbooks in October, why isn't he buying them now? Why aren't we?
Because he.
Well, I mean, he is buying
maybe
the
he should be
ebook
here.
subscription
Maybe he
for the
should be
10th
here.
grade history curriculum, so there,
He,
I mean.
he didn't feel that it made sense for him to buy them at the end of the year, and according to him and his staff, they're doing what they've worked out for their curriculum is sufficient for that.
But it seems okay.
I don't want people to be spending money on things
No,
that
I
they.
agree, but if
But I
this is
think
the
that's the
case, I
answer.
feel like we should freeze the budget on July 2nd because they did okay without it, and they're not filling in the things that they couldn't buy, so they didn't need them.
I don't know what
Well,
to say
the
about
only
that.
thing that I could speak to is the 4th grade iPads. I know in September they didn't know that they were going to use iPads or use technology to
They
do
didn't,
the
that's
MCAS.
right, that's right.
They
That
didn't.
decision
I
was
forget-
made.
Right.
Yeah.
I forget when we made that decision. And I know through the process of sharing with 5th and 6th grade and having to work out times and having 4th graders really practice on a keyboard because they're not as proficient.
But isn't
As
that
older
what
kids.
the technology lab was supposed to be about, was having them practice on the keypad? Do they still do that?
I'm sorry, what are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Suzanne. You mean the lab upstairs?
Yeah,
On the third,
Mrs. Fravel's
yeah, but
class.
she
Don't
uses
they-
that every period.
Okay.
But
So-
that was to
so
get
they
them
are
to be
getting-
proficient, that was to
Right.
get them better acclimated to
Right.
the.
But
Yes,
I
oh yeah,
think,
there's
you
some
know,
of that, absolutely.
But I think what the idea was they're writing open responses and they have to type their answers, which is what they would have to do on MCAS.
And work
So-
off of a little screen.
To just the experience of, I mean, it's kind of like if you have an accommodation on an IEP that says you can use this chart as an accommodation, but you don't use it until the day of the test.
Right, all of a sudden you don't know what to do
You
with the
don't have
child.
any-
You know, so
Makes more sense.
so that's how I see that. I don't.
Yeah,
So that's
and that's why I asked about the keyboards, because I know that was the big thing with the testing,
Yeah.
was that it's easier to type
Yeah,
on the keyboard.
definitely. Yeah.
But like Mike said, you have plenty of keyboards over there if they're not included.
Yeah, each
I mean,
grade
I mean,
can only go into
no.
variant class one period a week because she has
It's full.
books full between her and Barry.
I mean, to me, not having access right here to all the little items that were budgeted and planned out, I kind of see this as a result of being fiscally conservative and responsible for, we budgeted for the worst case scenario, especially in special education. When we froze the budget, then, there must have been things that were not purchased, because the budget is a plan, it's a moral document going forward. And so now we find ourselves in this, in a better place, a better situation because of changes in circumstances. And now we're looking out, I mean, at this particular, so our needs now are different than what they were estimated to be in the beginning of the year when we made the budget. Is that a fair assessment? I mean, now the principals are looking out into the future and saying, okay, with the iPads, they didn't necessarily foresee the fact that the fourth grade would benefit so much from this
More
kind of
daily practice.
more daily practice. But now, and that's going to happen with technology as we roll it out and we use it more and more, is that we're going to see how the students are using it in different ways. So it's kind of like an updated, vision of what we need to move forward. And we're just fortunate that due to the freezing of the budget and
Well, I
that
guess,
we have this.
do we have lists of what they needed that they're choosing not to use the money for?
No,
Right, because I can see where Michael's coming from, and I
Right,
can see where you're coming from. When the budget froze, I do remember Peter and Margaret both saying, if it's something we really need,
We always give
we
it.
accommodate, I mean, if they,
Yeah, there's definitely were purchases.
yeah,
that went through.
right, so it's not like,
Yeah.
when a freeze is like a solid freeze, nothing.
No.
But I can see where Michael's coming from, like, what were I know you don't have the list of them, but I wonder what they were that they don't see,
And hopefully
as a
when we
necessity
budget-
now when they have the money.
And as we budget going forward, I mean, they should be looking at that and saying, okay, what did we budget for? What did we not get that we, do we need to get those again? How are we going to continue to be fiscally responsible going forward? Right? I mean, just have an accurate budget down to a very small, level of detail.
Yeah, and well, it's hard to do too because of special ed, just for that
Mhm.
reason.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
if
and
we
that's-
had gotten two
that's a-
kids,
that's a
then
huge-
it
that's
could have
The
gone.
majority
the
of
other
the
way.
reason.
We could have
away
gone the other
completely.
way.
That's
Right.
the majority of the reason why we have this money, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
That's most of the reason why we have this money.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I think they're thinking too that this is a large amount, maybe they're thinking in their head, like, instead of saying the smaller items, just like,
Well, that's what they're
Well,
saying.
yeah, that's
They're
exactly what
saying this
you
is
know.
gonna get them a lot more bang for their buck
Right.
than,
Instead of buying like more paper,
paper,
or pencils,
yeah.
or
Right.
supplies for their supply closet,
Yeah.
Right, and
well, I'm sure
I
they
trust
must
that
have been
assessment.
happy to receive the news that they did have this money that they could,
they were.
because it hasn't been that way for a while that they, that they.
No, it definitely hasn't. And some things like.
I think I just wanna be clear though, like with if the public
Yes,
watching this is
exactly.
questioning, like,
Yeah.
we had a tough budget
We did have a tough budget.
season, year, and we just wanna be mindful of how we explain this,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
you know.
absolutely. And again, like you said, some things changed really in special education. And we did have some money in our salaries, you know, that was there. But we did need to dip into some of that. We had to add an aid, you know, so you never know, right? Again, special education, you know. So that is where the majority of the money
It's the difference
is,
between
for sure.
actual and budgeted. You know, when it comes
Right.
into actuals,
Exactly.
we have certain expenses that we haven't planned on and certain expenses that we did plan on that don't occur.
I mean, the Alice supplies, you know, we trained everybody in Alice, and we've been talking about that. We were gonna have to try to figure out where we were gonna get that funding.
So is that enough for every classroom?
That,
Or
it
is
should
that-
be enough
yeah.
for both schools
Okay.
with the supplies that we have put on our list.
Okay,
Um,
so they're gonna have like a bucket of these
It'll be like
supplies,
a
like, and it
bucket
will
with-
be somewhere, are you in charge of buying that?
Yeah,
Stuff?
so it's like a first aid kit,
Bug spraying or whatever we were talking about?
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, well, I'm glad to see that we were able to, do that, because I know that was one of the big questions
For
was, okay,
parents,
now we just
right.
got, right, now we just got trained,
yeah,
when are we gonna get that?
Right.
some door braces we were talking about getting.
Mhm, yep. And purchasing the science curriculum will help us out in choice, right, which is kind of where we were going for that, for a portion of that money. So the unhealthiness of our revolving accounts gets just a little bit better, you know, with that decision.
And we otherwise, I don't know where we get the sick leave buyback and the long-term
that's the-
subs, all
That was
these.
for our retirement for next year, so it would just take.
But I mean, we're fortunate that we're able to cover it like this.
Right.
So as of right now, so we opened the 21 school choice slots, as of now, the most recent update on that is we have, one for 7th grade and 7 already called.
No, actually, today,
Well,
no,
did you
I
get
got
another
another
one
one
today?
today.
Cause I got that from her.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so, and now we have 8 for 9th grade?
Yeah.
And then still one for 7th?
Right. So that was part of our impetus to look at taking that,
Bye, Michael.
paying for that, because we were kind of counting on those slots to be able to cover the things that we were gonna charge to choice. So if we don't end up getting all those students, right, we can still do the accreditation, which was part of it.
We have to do that.
We have to do that, and we would have enough students to sort of cover that already.
I know I'm going back a ways, but we were looking too at the Pembroke after-school program for assisting in the science curriculum, too.
We were talking about that initially, but then we ended up moving a position, we ended up
Into that,
moving a
okay,
position there, so
okay, so that
that was
just-
sort of off the table.
Okay.
That's why we were talking about choice, either we were gonna do it 1 or 2 years, remember?
Right,
Right, but
Yeah.
this would allow us to do it all
glad
in
you're
1
doing
year
it all
and
in
not
one.
impact choice.
Yeah, I am too.
yeah, because the,
The 2
over the 2-year period.
Well, I'm sort
I
of
mean,
worried
I
about
get
choice.
it, but I,
Doesn't cover
it's
all
not
of the
ideal.
Both of them.
No.
When does sort of the school choice season, like when do we know, you know, we have
Yeah, a
9,
definitive
like
number.
when do we, like maybe we'll get another, but probably not. When does that happen?
Did we give them a date, Laura?
Or ballpark, like,
You know, Laura?
I think we keep it open, like, if we had more than enough people, we had more people than we had slots, we would have done we would do a lottery.
right,
But I think as long as we,
as long as there's
long as
slots, they'll
there's-
keep it open.
right,
But when, is it July where essentially everyone's figured out where they're going?
Oh, you're
or, like
wondering-
when are we gonna be confident of what our number is gonna be? I
yeah,
guess
I'd
is
say
what
by
I'm
the end of the
And
summer.
hopefully it's confident.
Okay.
I'd
And-
say
Right?
I'd say by the end of the summer.
Okay.
I mean, we might have a sense in July or something, but I'd say we could talk about it at our August meeting.
So
Yeah.
does the lottery happen, is there a deadline to apply for school choice? If there are too many, we do a lottery, but if it's rolling, what if we get 15 people on August 15th?
Right.
6 months after whatever the deadline was, how,
No, I think that's a good
Does that
question.
work?
Laura, I can't remember the letter. Did it say that they had to let us know? Because usually what happens is when we get an application, we usually in the application process tell them, you know, apply by such certain date. Did we do that?
Yes,
What was the date? Do you remember?
May 31st.
Oh, so May 31st is the
So,
deadline. That is
That's not
coming
to
right
say
up.
that, you know,
Right.
if we're this far away from the thing, that if somebody came in, you know, tomorrow and said, I want a ninth grade slot, that we wouldn't accept it.
Right.
But I think the people who were most interested in applying probably
Would have done it, or
Did
would-
it.
yeah. So then,
although today a woman walked in and, you know, I had a conversation with her and she's very excited about the fact that her child, she understands that we'd have to do a lottery, but we're not close.
But even though we have these 9 applicants, it doesn't mean
We're
that they're
gonna
gonna choose to come here.
That's right, you're right.
Right.
Although, yes, that's right. But I think most people know that we aren't full, so I'm having a sense that these are people who probably do wanna come here. The people that you're talking about tend to be people who sort of unsolicited throw an application in just to sort of cover their
Cost that thing,
bases,
and
yeah.
see what
I don't
their
know, we'll
choices
see.
are.
It could be the case, you're right, that not everybody at the end of the day will choose to come. But
Let's
right
just
now,
hope that we
right
got
now,
all-
we would
get
need
all
to, we
21.
would accept by the law, we would accept all the ones we have.
And we have to hope that the current students who are in school choice
Stay. That's why I think the science curriculum is a priority out of this, because I feel confident that with the kids we have coming in, that we could take care of the accreditation. And remember, that's only 1 year. It's done after 1 year, so those people staying, that money stays in the account. But I don't think, I mean, we wouldn't have enough students to cover the science curriculum too, at this point,
Right.
so. I think this is important to take that particular expense out.
All right.
Okay. Have any other questions about that? All very good questions, good
All very good.
comments,
Yep.
love that, thank you for the answers.
I'm not sure they were the answers everybody wanted, but
Well,
there's
it's
truth,
so
there's
interesting though,
true as
tonight
we
we
can
don't
be.
have the administrators here, and
I know,
we were like,
I
oh, that's
know,
all right, they
I
don't
know.
have to attend,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
but that's okay.
Well, I don't think they'd say anything different than we said, but, you know. Yeah, we gave them the night off and sure enough, questions come up.
Right. I know, that's funny. Okay.
So are we gonna vote on any of this, or,
Do we vote on it?
because
Or is
there's,
it
I
a
don't
line
see a
item transfer
motion
thing?
with the financial,
I
I
think you
have
should
to
vote. I think
yes,
you should vote.
So
to spend
indi-
this money this way, because
say
it's not
To
in the
approve,
budget.
yeah, to
So you need
approve
to
the,
approve the purchase, the year end.
well, it
Okay,
is,
I don't
Is
have
that
to-
the line item
it
transfer
isn't,
thing, though?
well, that's right, cause it is in the budget.
Because we're not adding dollars, we're just changing where the dollars are going.
Right, but I'm just saying, these items weren't in your budget this year. you know?
Oh, good,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
she
saying.
spent,
Like, you didn't approve these things to be bought last year when when the
Never
budget was
really.
approved.
okay,
But the
so
budget
let's
wouldn't
just,
have 23 max in it, it would have,
Okay. I was-
I'm not challenging.
I-
so I'm just trying to figure out, like, let's just think about this for a moment.
What would a vote reflect?
That's what I'm trying to think. So for example, would these things now have to go into a line? If you were trying to, at the end of the year, if you were closing it out,
Right.
would, so to Michael's
an
point, like for,
expense line?
yeah,
Yes,
so for
yes.
example, the Sonic wall would go into a technology
Technology
line,
line.
Okay.
right? All of these Mac
Yeah,
things would go
a
into
lot
a
of it's
technology.
technology.
That's what you're asking,
Yeah.
right?
So you just,
That would be, what that would mean is at the end of the year, it would reflect where the money was actually spent, which is what
Correct.
you're
Yeah.
asking about.
okay. Okay.
But if you could approve that
Right,
this is
and
where
then
you
we'll
want the
get
money
line
to
item
be
transfers.
spent, then we can do that,
Okay,
right, and we can approve the transfers. I
So
think
we
that's what you're-
approve
I think
this?
that's what he's trying to do.
okay.
And then approve the line item transfer
I
at
guess
a
I'm,
later
I'm-
time.
I guess to my,
You don't think
I don't
you'd
think
have
we
to
even need to
approve it?
approve this, because
Okay.
we don't approve,
Individual
we sign
items.
warrants, but we don't approve buying Macs.
Well, but
Per
you
se.
approve budget stuff. I think that's why Suzanne's thinking that,
We can certainly, but
yeah, I think because any changes to the budget, if this ends up being a line, I mean, you can wait until the line, if there's consensus around this list, that everybody's gonna be okay with it. And then
Makes sense to me.
Suzanne goes and moves the lines and then brings it back to you in the form of line item transfers. That's copacetic to us, if there's agreement that this is kind of we agree with this list.
Okay,
okay?
yeah.
So that's what we'll do.
Well, I don't have to list them all off. Can I just list like numbers 1 through 11? Or,
Or even just as presented.
Just
Yeah.
as presented.
Okay.
'Cause Laura has the list.
okay, perfect. So I will make a motion to, approve the, the FY 17 budget update with year-end funds. Does that sound okay?
As presented.
As
in the
presented
memo
in the memo
May
from
10th.
Director of Finance and Operations Suzanne Sutherland? Okay.
May 10th, 2007.
So moved.
Dated May 10th, 2017.
Second.
Great. Any further discussion on it? No? All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Okay, and then when we get the line item transfers, then we'll
That's
just do it.
right.
So this way, I don't know, every time I hear the word copiers,
I know.
I get a little nervous.
Yeah, me too.
We want everyone
Even though I have nothing to
know.
do with it. And I'm like,
The good news is the science curriculum.
That's correct.
That's the way we wanna go.
right,
New copier sounds good, but you don't wanna hear that too often.
no, but I just,
And color copy.
it's nice to, it is nice to see that.
Mm.
You know, these are, much needed items, things like that, so I'm sure,
Yeah.
that Margaret and Peter were happy, and I'm glad that Mike gets another shed.
Another.
Well, and also, like he was
Oh,
saying,
he
we,
needs it.
he's like, we have a lot of tools, which is great too,
Yeah, they got
because,
a lot in the building project.
but the thing that's great about it is, like you said tonight, we gotta house those tools when they're,
Properly.
and to keep them in good running condition, and I know him and his guys take great care of it, so
Our
that's,
buildings and grounds are really.
yeah,
much,
they look
much
great,
better.
and Pearly, don't you think Pearly, the front of Pearly looks
Yeah,
good?
that's pretty with the
With the,
tulips.
and the rocks around it, no, you didn't like it?
I don't pay attention.
Oh,
park
okay.
and
She was
go.
there today.
Yeah, it looked really nice, I liked
Right
it.
in front of it, Suzanne.
I know, I did.
Well, and just in terms of the Pembroke Fields,
Yep.
Kyle has been playing t-ball and soccer on.
And they're doing good, they're
fields,
looking
Right.
good.
And the fields are
nice.
good.
And how's that
Grace
going?
has been playing,
Soft-
varsity softball plays there.
Yep.
Oh, it's very
Yeah,
nice.
That's great, and I love the fact that her her preschooler and then your high schooler
Playing right
is
next
using,
to each other,
utilizing it,
actually.
which is good. Is the feedback from the other parents, are they happy with it? They,
They're not unhappy.
well, that's always good.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, Mike's guys have to order the fence, so.
Yes,
the-
there's still a piece of the
the
fence.
fence.
That's
So
at the
top-
bottom?
Well, the top, you're around, I'm talking about around the plateau, that'll.
Yeah, right, so it
that'll be
doesn't go into
installed
the.
as
Oh,
well.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, the little kids like to go on top
And roll.
and run down.
Yeah, and I asked Mike if we could do something like, steps, that like
Oh, into
railroad ties or something that you,
Yeah.
just, because it's not a very big, but incline, but, if you've got people who, have trouble getting up.
One lady, she was just coming in from Rockport, and she said, when I looked across, I could see, but I didn't know there were gonna be so many peaks and valleys. She was huffing and puffing as she was coming up and
Oh.
down.
But I think if we, just like at the high school, Peter Durkee
Yes.
put in those couple of stairs, if we could do something like that just into the sides, I think that would make a huge difference.
I was at the JV baseball game like last week, and they were playing at the turf field, so people tend to sit above and
Right.
put their like lawn chairs up there. So I thought it was interesting that the umpire had actually like looked at one of the mums that was at on the bleachers on the field, and there was only one sitting there, and everyone else was up. So he says, I don't know why they don't build bleachers into
Right.
that
It's always
area.
been
And
my
he's
idea.
talking about this whole, and I looked down at him. I'm like, he was making it like it was his great idea. I'm like, no, we've thought of that. We just don't have the money right now. But it was funny. He was changing the whole scope of
Yeah.
the property
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, but I've often thought that would be sort of interesting to have little stadium seating up there,
It would.
But you have to pay attention to the, you're digging into the pitch, right? So you have to make sure it's stable.
There's ledge
Yeah.
in
All
there, too,
of
I'm
a sudden,
sure.
Oh, there probably is ledge
And
in
the other
there.
thing is, you're also looking through that chain
The
link.
fence, yeah,
which is kind of-
that's not
And
great
your
either.
eyes tend to-
I agree. When that chain link I wasn't envisioning the chain link being there, but it has to be, obviously,
Right.
if you're playing baseball, but,
No, but you know what? It actually, I enjoy watching the games up there.
yeah.
To tell you the truth. So.
Just before you go to your next thing, I just wanted to tell you, we are gonna meet with the cafeteria workers on,
You are.
I have a meeting with them on Monday in the afternoon. Suzanne's gonna come as well. Heather and the ladies will all be there. So we're gonna start working on our action plan and
Oh,
setting
great.
up. So I just wanted you to know that. I went to each of the schools and talked to the girls, and they're very excited, and so we're gonna.
And so
get a
how will
plan
you meet
together.
with them? Do they meet like after school hours?
They'll come, yeah, called the meeting, and they're all coming.
Okay.
So they're all excited. We've been talking, a little bit about, that they're interested in working with me on setting up stations at the high school for next year.
Oh.
We're gonna get the coffee shop up and running. We're talking about vending machines, particularly vending machines that we can put in places near the gyms, because you can put them on timers. So, if those gyms are used a lot of the year, a lot of the time. So, I'm thinking that people might buy a drink or buy a
I
snack.
definitely think they will.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But we do have to put them on timers, because there are some limits to when the kids get in. But even, like, I asked Heather to check on this for me today when I met with her. I understand why we put A-list things if our kids were going to consume them during the day, but if we're turning them off during the day and we're turning them on after school, can you put Gatorade in them or sports drinks in them? Or, I know we can do water and seltzer and probably some juices on the list, but, if it's to be consumed outside of the school day, I look at our wellness policy, but I remember when we talked about that policy, there was discussion about, well, like, how at the football games, people sell hot dogs and all that, like, can we mandate that? And I think everybody said, no, we're staying away from things outside of the school day. That's not really our, we aren't gonna mandate that stuff. So I'm thinking if we put some vending machines in and we put them by the gyms and strategically did it and put them on timers, then, when people are in the building, or our athletes after school might be able to go in and grab a drink and
Gatorade or
snack.
something.
So those are the kinds of things we're talking about, but I just wanted you to know we are moving forward on it, and I am meeting with the entire food service staff.
So, can we, see like the action plan?
Oh,
Like-
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
And like as it
you know what
progresses,
what
like how?
So I sort of see three parts to this little action plan. The first is, what are we doing to increase participation during the school day in our lunch program? The second is, what are we doing to sort of potentially raise money for doing things, a la carte or outside of the school lunch program during the lunch periods? And then the third is really, how do we know we're being successful with our customers? Like, how are we assessing and evaluating satisfaction with the program? So what I would envision is the action plan, just like with the Pembroke action plan, remember we had broken it down into different areas, and then we just reported on how we did on each one. I would envision that the action plan that we would put together, each of those things would have steps and benchmarks, and then we could have Heather and the cafeteria workers, if they want, could come, and like you could have one meeting where they just talk about how we're doing, what we're doing about the the one aspect of that. We can figure out how you want, and we can be getting counts that we can throw in your packets periodically. But how we have Heather come a couple of times. Maybe what we do is we have Heather come, and whomever wants to come with her, and then we literally go through the action plan and assess how well we're
See how the
progressing.
progress is going.
And they know that if things don't sort of move, then what we're going to need to be doing is, come January, we're going to need to be considering an opportunity to do outsourcing, and maybe it will be management only, but we don't want to miss that opportunity if it's not working.
Right, so that isn't a big
It's not a full
window
year.
of.
It's
Yeah,
not a
that's
big
from,
window, so that's why I
September
think
to-
we
but-
just have to. I need to see forward movement. Oh, the other thing is Suzanne.
Well, I think forward movement is having the meeting.
Right.
That's great.
Oh, yeah, well,
That's
Suzanne actually,
initiated.
put out on the listserv for the business managers that, we were interested in, getting some information on, if people were doing their own in-house programs and they had made changes that had, made significant improvements. And actually, the Danvers, business manager reached out to Suzanne, and they have a meeting scheduled, because their program was apparently in very difficult shape, and they put together a whole bunch of things, and now their program is really much better and thriving. So, and they have a coffee shop and a few other things. So, we figure Suzanne will go over and then bring that information
great.
back, and then maybe we can hook Heather up with their business, with their director. So, I'm assuming that this is going to end up being one of our district goals. So we're trying to get in on
Yeah,
the ground floor on
I
this.
think it needs to be because of the amount of money that we're talking.
Yeah,
Do we have to, meet to negotiate this
I was-
one-year
yeah.
contract?
we do, so we're trying to get, we've already got that, we were kinda waiting to find out who was gonna be on the negotiating team, officially, but
Oh,
we.
that's right, so I'm out of it.
Right, yeah.
Don't sound so sad, Barbie. And then what we're gonna do, is,
Well, it's not you and it's not them two.
so Laura's,
funny,
so Laura's
right? We were
already
both
reached
thinking of
out
it.
to try to get some dates that'll work.
Make a great team.
I'm sure we.
So, we are moving forward with that
Okay,
as well.
that's funny.
You laugh at that.
I'll be laughing harder later in the year.
So that's just an update on what we're doing on that.
What was I gonna ask? Oh, I would also love to see Heather, try to, work on the banquets for the
Yeah.
sports that are going on right now.
Yeah.
Because already, I'm sure the parents are already starting to think about, okay, where should we have them, and
We were talking about the pizza oven at the Pembroke. It's a beautiful pizza oven and it really doesn't get used, you know, so we're just talking about what ideas could we, I mean, like Laura said, if I said that every Friday they'd make pizzas and people could order them in advance, Laura said, I'd take one home every single Friday night. You know, I don't know, so we wanna have an ambitious agenda, but we don't wanna have an overwhelming agenda that we really can't meet. Then, you know, so catering is certainly something I think we need to do, but I think the first priority needs to be getting our arms around setting up these kitchens in a way that, you know, we can, you know.
And I think there should be some, they should figure out some way that they could order in advance for
the kids, and
the kids, so that the lines
teachers
aren't, you
can,
know,
yeah.
so that the workers could start to like put together the lunches, and then it'll be there for pickup.
Yeah, so our plan, as we're looking at it right now, is, you know, trying to figure out how to distribute the kids. So again, it'd be premature to talk about it, but, you know, Mike is working with us as well. And, you know, if you go into the cafeteria, you know, you see the doors, obviously, but then there's a little place where they put like the dishes through, like for the dish room, there's a window. So we're just wondering if there's a way to sort of move the dish operation somewhere else in the kitchen and to the
the
back,
back.
and because there's plumbing back there for
we're
bathrooms.
talking about the high school.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then
That's where the
maybe
kids-
set up a serving station there, so
Right.
you could take stanchions and direct them in certain ways. And then the other thing is during the
Bowls,
lunchtime, if
bank.
you open the coffee shop area, depending on what you put in there. Because if you remember when we went to Haverhill, they had that area across the cafeteria.
Oh, like the snack
Right,
bar
yeah, exactly.
side.
So you could maybe set up something like that where, you know, so some of the kids would go in that direction. So, again, we gotta put our heads together about it, but I think there's some creative ways we can look at this, and I think they're on board with the stations idea, and, cause I said, you know, if you know the kids love nachos, and you know the kids love meatball subs or whatever, the nice thing is if you do it in stations, there's certain predictability to it, so they know, okay, I can get nachos every day if I want to, but maybe you vary the kind of nachos, right, or you vary, you make enchiladas and you vary the different kinds of enchiladas. Remember how they did that? They put like the little plate that shows what the special of the
Yeah,
day
I
was.
like that.
So some of it has to do with just marketing and, you know, being
And
a little
with
creative.
moving the kids through the line, I mean, that was something that was very impressive at
Yeah.
Haverhill and Masco, those kids
Yeah, I
just
agree.
went right
But
through.
the kids knew exactly where they
Where they
wanted
were
to
gonna
go,
go,
because
that's
it was
what-
consistent.
'cause there was
They knew that
yeah.
that was the rat
As you said,
line, and
predictability.
That's what I think is important.
it
is
went very
predictability.
quickly.
So you know, again, those are the kinds of things that, you know, we're talking about, and, you know, we'll see, you know, what we can come up that's creative and that can work, and
Well, the other
Good.
catering thing would be for the NEASC people.
yes, that's something we would definitely will talk
Instead
about.
of going out for lunch every
Yeah, that's something we will
Some nice
definitely talk about.
wraps and salad and.
For cheese sandwich.
Cheese sandwiches.
Cheese sandwiches.
Gouda.
Yeah, we might have to spice up the cheese.
Grilled or cold?
But, you know, there's a lot of positive energy, so we can capitalize on that.
We have a good time.
That's good, I'm happy to hear that. Okay, now we get on to so we'll go to the front of the agenda now.
Yeah.
It's interesting how we did that backwards.
So,
Okay, so we're doing our reorganization.
so we're gonna start from the top?
Yes, we're gonna start with the top.
No, we're gonna start from the bottom again.
Well, I mean, you could, whatever.
We'll start from the top, so,
We're jumping around.
So I wanna make a motion,
okay.
is that how you say it?
You're gonna make a nomination.
A nomination, for Barbie as chairman again.
Okay,
So moved.
thank you. I will accept
She
that,
wants
but are
it.
there other nominations?
Cheryl's like, I don't know.
Okay.
No, we get to laugh like your negotiations.
Oh,
Fair's
Did you need
fair.
a second?
No, you don't have to.
Oh, there's no second for that, okay.
Well, actually,
Discussion?
wait a minute. So you made a nomination,
Is that right?
right? And then I guess
So
you're
moved.
taking a vote, right? So you can take, you can make your
so-
motion. Go ahead.
I did.
Okay, second. Who seconded it?
Cheryl,
Cheryl.
did you
oh,
second
she
it?
so moved it.
She so moved.
Was it?
Second.
Okay.
Okay. Laura, you following this? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Not pretty, but it'll work.
Aye. Thank you.
You're reading these
Make another
minutes very
nomination?
closely.
Yep. Can I nominate Pam for vice, if she wants it?
Sure, I'd be honored, yes.
Any
You
other
nominate yourself for
nominations?
Oh, I nominated you for something, you just wait.
Okay, so, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Congratulations, you two.
thank you, I think.
They usually do the clerk, right?
Would that be?
No,
No.
it's one of you.
Oh, I nominate Michael.
I knew that was coming.
I would like to nominate Michael for clerk.
So moved.
All in favor?
Eager. You didn't even ask me if I.
Aye.
As I say,
Yeah, right?
you should have got to. s-
Who is
Oh,
the
I
clerk
didn't
now?
Me.
What is the role?
I don't know.
Laura's
It's a
so
very
good, she's
strenuous
always,
job.
she's
Well,
always,
clerk is to take notes if you
If-
need
yeah.
to take them.
That's why I pointed to Laura.
I know. Well, Laura,
cause she's always
the
here,
secretary.
she never.
We do
she's
hers
always
as
so good.
I would just like
Laura's always
to,
here, yeah.
Yeah.
I would just like to
I
say
work
that
for
I
Laura.
think, I really appreciate very much the collegiality
Yes.
and the friendship and our working relationships. I mean,
Yes.
they've been wonderful,
It's been
very,
great.
very supportive and great and productive and, so, I thank you for your
I
vote of
agree.
confidence
I
and
agree.
so this is,
I've
we're
seen
moving
committees
forward.
that do not work well together. This is.
Well, Suzanne
Yes.
and I, we didn't even mention that Suzanne and I have another 3 years.
Yes.
moving.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, congratulations on that, right?
I know that they wrote in
exciting.
against me.
No, that's great.
So tell me, what is left of your term?
2 years.
So, okay, and what about you?
Well, Pam and I have one.
Okay,
So we're up
so
next year.
Okay,
You're up next year. Okay.
okay.
Pam, how many years have you?
Well, so this will be my 6th.
Wow.
You went to your sixth.
And Michael?
It'll be I'm starting my 4th because I did a year appointed and then a full term. This,
It's amazing how fast time goes, isn't
I
it?
know.
How many years for you?
7.
7, wow.
Yeah, 7, yeah.
Good babes. Who knew?
Well, that's what's nice is when there's a variety of experience, you know,
Yes.
because it's really, I mean, Barbie, it's really hard to be, on a committee where everybody is brand new.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's just because everybody's trying to, don't you
trying to figure it
agree?
out.
You gotta
Well,
get through the
there's a
first year
learning
and the
curve,
second year, you sort of feel like,
naturally.
okay, now I
Right.
kinda
And then
get
you
what
hit your
what this
stride.
is about, yeah.
And that's why we did our welcome, our new member
Yes.
orientation pamphlet.
Which we're gonna
to
give birth
assist
to
with
because
that
that's-
process.
Well, I was gonna
Close.
say,
New members,
yes.
whenever
We're
we
close
are,
on that, we're
you
close
know,
on that.
we
Are we
have
gonna
new members.
continue with that committee, though? Or is
Well,
it done?
I think
Well,
you
I
should
think it's
commit,
once
continue
we
till they
approve
get it
the-
approved,
the
and then you don't
packet,
need
the
it.
point of the committee was to come up with
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
that
so you,
packet.
but that's what I'm saying, so you've done the packet? We
Yes.
just haven't seen it yet?
That's
Okay, good,
correct.
because I was
Just have to
thinking of it
have one
today.
more
We just
meeting,
have to
right?
have a meeting, we just have
Was
to
it you
schedule
two?
it and.
Yeah, it
Yep.
was, I mean, Pam wrote a lot of it.
Well, it was a
Did
collaborative
you
effort,
have another
but-
district that had, like, do other districts have them?
No, I mean,
Like a welcoming,
well, they probably have some, but not, I don't think this
literally,
one.
we go down to Laura and Laura
You
gives
get
us the,
No, you get the
I mean, it-
policy
it's-
charting the course is really what.
Right, a lot of it
School
came from
committees
charting
get.
the course, Cheryl pulled in some from that, and we also included the school committee operating protocols and, some words of wisdom from a former chair,
It's
Ann
more
Blythe.
streamlined.
oh, that's good, you
Um,
interviewed Ann for it?
Well, I mean, she had written, I had saved some of the emails that she sent, and I just thought they were really, really well, written and good information for people to have, so we incorporated some of that, but, I mean, it's been a while since we've met, a while since I've looked at it, so I don't really wanna say too much
So
about it,
when are we gonna
but
see it?
when we do present it, we can talk about it
right?
more.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say you'll see it, well, next meeting's kind of busy, but maybe the first meeting in June. Cause you have handbooks coming up,
'Cause
you have
it-
evaluations next.
It hasn't been a big priority because we have
Well,
no
it's-
new
yeah, we
members
have no
coming
members.
on,
No,
but
I
it
know,
is
that's-
important to have, I believe.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, oh,
know.
absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
it's great, yeah.
Okay, I will make a motion to, appoint attorneys Judy Levinson and Gregory Panini as the Georgetown School Committee's legal counsel for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll make a motion to appoint the law firm of Sullivan, Nuttall, and McAvoy as the Georgetown School Committee Special Education Legal Counsel for the school year 2017-2018.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we have, subcommittees. Where's my subcommittee list? Okay. Just- Thank you, thank you. Okay. So the Budget, and Finance Subcommittee, I will make a motion to, it's not appoint, right? Just, what would the word be? To appoint? It would be to appoint?
To appoint the two and then the
Ok-
alternate.
Okay, so, make a motion to appoint, Barbie Lenaris and Michael Hinchliffe, with Pam Lundquist as the alternate for the 2017-2018 school year. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, make a motion to, do we have to make individual? Yeah, okay. Make a motion to appoint Cheryl Lashendro and Barbie Lenaris with the alternate of Michael Hinchliffe for the Governance Subcommittee for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It was a short tenure for you, Michael.
I think we met once.
It was a really fruitful meeting.
Make a motion to appoint Pam Lundquist and Michael Hinchliffe on the Negotiation Subcommittee with an alternate of Barbie
Do you want to
Lenaris
make this motion?
for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Suzanne McDonald and Cheryl Lashendro
And Michael has the alt.
and Michael as the alternate.
No.
No alternate on public relations?
Well, you guys can decide if you want one.
I'll do that.
Okay, Barbie.
Barbie as the alternate. I'll
So
write on
moved.
yours.
Especially
Second.
Suzanne.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I enjoy safety. I know you were
So-
safety too before. I like
do
safety.
safety, but I know it meets in the,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
I
the
just
morning,
need
yeah.
to do
It's a
it.
good, I like that meeting.
Why
Cause
can't
you know
they
what?
accommodate me? Just,
It's big of you to volunteer for a
You know why I like
a
safety
committee
so
that you
much
can't
though, is we get
possibly
in,
get
we do
business
business,
and you
and
get out,
it's like
yeah.
an, you know, it's always like starts at 9, out at 10.
Yeah.
And it's really a lot of really good
Put me in there and
information.
Cheryl would just show up.
Connect with Georgetown Cares and with the
Oh,
Substance
totally,
Abuse
yeah.
Advisory Panel, and I just, I've done it before, and I do find it very interesting, and,
I went
Very-
to one meeting. I think I filled
Yeah,
in.
for me,
It
yeah.
was- It was very interesting.
yeah.
So I'll make a motion to appoint Pam Lundquist with Cheryl Lashendro as the alternate for the Safety Committee for 2017-2018.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We don't need a school building committee.
Right,
There,
well, you're-
there may be one more meeting.
Yeah, there would be.
There will be.
There will be one, because they have to
Do you
close
wanna
it
stay
out.
on that?
Oh, sure, I mean,
Okay.
I've come this far.
So I'll make a motion to,
Unless somebody else has a, you know,
No,
burning
it doesn't make
desire.
sense to change.
No, okay.
I'll make a motion to appoint Pam Lundquist for the school building committee for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. For this ad hoc committee, do I mention everybody's name?
Is that an updated
Everybody's
list?
on
That's
it.
not an updated
It's, I
list.
think it's really more,
Just Dawn isn't on
Is
there,
it?
right?
Do you-
Oh, and there are more.
And Laura
do you
Snyder's
need to
name.
appoint the ad hoc committee?
Or-
I don't know.
We did, or we, I don't know if we
You
needed
did.
to, but we definitely
You
did
definitely
last
did.
year.
And did they have to get sworn, I wonder if they have to get, they have to go get, sign up or anything, you know?
didn't.
You know how, like, when you
Yeah.
serve on a committee every year, you're supposed to go and get,
Would they need like ethics training and all that then?
We didn't for like the turf committee and things like
Right.
that.
Didn't we just
we didn't
approve
even-
the committee?
yeah, let's just
Form
approve
is
them.
Is that, I think that's.
No, yeah, I mean, we definitely voted
We did
a
vote
list of
them.
names.
We did, we
I don't know
did.
if we need to, but.
Well, there are
Okay, so why don't
different
you just do it if
names.
Yeah, and there's more. and
So,
Actually, there's
some-
more than
some
here.
aren't
Is-
really.
yeah, I'm trying to put.
Because Don's not on it anymore. I think we should get a revised list.
Yeah. This isn't an up-to-date list.
You don't have to do it tonight?
No, I think we should.
Okay, we
not
won't do it tonight, because
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm getting
She's
everybody's
not on
name.
it. I've never seen her
No, because
show
we,
up.
because we, the teachers' names aren't on here.
This is.
And what about the superintendent's goals subcommittee?
Yeah, you can do that.
Is that, do
Well, we still would do that.
Okay, and that, Suzanne is doing that. She-
Well, you see Cheryl, Pam, and
What am I
Suzanne.
doing?
But,
That
oh,
was
wait,
last
wait,
year.
oh, that was last year, sorry.
Last year.
Oh, yeah, Suzanne, this is the one you asked to be on.
okay, so Cheryl and, so you wanna be on the superintendent subcommittee?
I did.
The goals
Yeah,
subcommittee?
'cause we can meet after school.
I said negotiations.
Well, it's not, yes.
What am I on?
I don't think we're on anything yet.
And you, no, she is, she's on public relations.
Oh, yeah.
You're on public relations, Suzanne.
Safety, but you're not gonna go.
Okay, and now what am I on?
Are you wanting to
So
be
the
on
alternate
this?
will be going.
It's, this is the one where you meet with me and we kinda go over what the goals, what my
Sure.
goals would be.
I would love to.
So were there two people? Did you say you want to do it too?
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah?
I mean, I don't mind being the alternate.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll call you a lot.
that's fine.
okay, so Suzanne and Cheryl.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to appoint Suzanne McDonald and Cheryl Ashendro with an alternate of Pam Lundquist for the superintendent's goals subcommittee for 2017,
So
2018.
moved.
You really.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay, and then for the, so you're gonna do the legislative, okay, you're still doing Crest.
Yes.
Okay, that's good, because you're doing
I
a
mean,
great job
just-
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm still the CPAC liaison and unless, you know.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to appoint Michael
I don't need
Hinchliff
one more
as
thing
the
to do. Yeah, I'm okay
legislative
with
I
liaison.
know, unless you were
for
wanting
the
to do it, Carol.
2017-2018 school year.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Pam Lundquist as the Crest representative for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Pam Lundquist as the CPAC liaison for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. I love doing that. That group is just growing by leaps and bounds and they're really, it's
Yeah.
wonderful to
CPAC,
see.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
I have a question.
Yeah,
I
sure.
was just gonna, so, what is the role of a liaison, I guess? Is it to go see them and bring back information from them to us? Or is it for us to bring information to them, or both?
I would
Do-
think both.
Kind of both. I mean, it's, you know, it's communication, like with Crest, occasionally, they'll have something that school committees need to vote on, or they'll give us information, and which I share. And so, you know, I'll bring back information, but then if we have anything to share with them, yeah, it goes both ways. But then it's a separate board, so then we vote on different issues that are taking place at Quest, budgetary and negotiations and all kinds of things, just similar type of things that happen here. And with the CPAC, I try to attend as many meetings as I can, where I think my presence is helpful. And, if I can tell you guys anything that you would be good for you to know, that I learn at the meetings, I try to do that.
You share a lot from their meetings. I think.
Yeah, and they're doing great things. I love the
Yeah,
workshops,
they
and they
are.
have the speakers coming
I mean,
in, and I think it's great.
Yeah, they did just have a meeting last night, which I did not go to. It was on financial planning for special needs.
Do you know if the attendance is well?
It's excellent.
So they
It's
very,
way
they might
up.
have like 18 people,
Yeah.
that show up.
That's great.
And they do like having it in
I didn't think I
other
could really-
locations,
Right, like
they think
flatbread
that's
and
helping
the library,
with
yeah,
that.
And I
that's
think,
good.
I think they're right about that. I mean, I think it's fun for people to, go out to different places. I mean, like the last CPAC meeting I went, I think they got a lot of people because it was a fun idea to go to Tin Lizzie's. On the other hand, there was more noise than
Yeah,
they
it was
had
too noisy.
anticipated.
Oh. It was
And
too
so it was a little
noisy.
bit
Takes
difficult to
away.
hear. And, so there are pros and cons at different
Yeah.
locations.
Yeah.
But I didn't really see what I could really add to the financial planning, meeting. But I thought it was great that they had a, an advisor there and,
Good. We used to have a PTA liaison, but then we
I
no
know,
longer
yeah.
do that.
I don't know, we
Well,
did used
we
to have
always
that.
have a great update from them in the beginning, and that kind of tells us their year and
Yeah, and
in
you go to
focus,
things, so you
yeah.
guys try to go to things.
I also went to the art show last night, so that was
Yes,
exciting
I
too.
know.
And yeah, they, awarded the National Art
Honor
Honor Society and various different awards, and they had an outside artist in the community come and who didn't know any of the kids, who gave
judged.
ribbons, who judged their
nice.
works, and it was so very.
We have some very talented
Yeah.
kids.
Oh,
And then they
me
do the
too.
videos,
I go
which are
every
always
year. I
so
love
funny.
Yeah,
going to
we
that
have very
art show.
talented
Yeah,
kids.
that is a great,
Yeah.
that is a great night.
And that's good.
They work hard all year for that.
Okay, we have a few more things we have to
Title, yeah, you could do
approve.
the coordinators.
So these people all are aware of their appointments. Okay, so I'll make a motion to appoint Jack Tiano as the Title II Compliance Coordinator for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Make a motion to appoint Suzanne Sutherland as the Title VI Compliance Officer for the 2017-2018 school year.
Title 4.
Oh,
Or is it
Oh,
Title
it
4 or
should be,
Title
it
6?
should be six. It
Should
should
be
be
six.
six.
It's 6 on the
Good
top.
catch.
Title 6.
it
four.
is 6, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it says 4 down here. That's
Oh.
Yes, it does, but it's six.
It's six,
Take it back.
six on here.
So moved.
Who learns
Second.
Roman numerals
All in
anymore?
favor?
Aye.
Aye. I make a motion to appoint Suzanne Sutherland as the Title IX Officer for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Jack Tiano and Suzanne Sutherland as the Sexual Harassment Hearing Officer for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Make a motion to appoint the Director of Guidance, Julia Robinson, the 504 Coordinator for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Jack Tiano as the Homeless Student Liaison for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Dr. William Medwood as the school physician for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Laura Markarian as the school committee secretary for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, who wants to do the payroll
You
warrant?
got the biggest vote there, Laura.
She's certainly done here.
Okay, you're fine with doing it?
I'm in a
Okay.
little groove.
Okay, good. Okay, make a motion.
You're not gonna be here every day.
So who is it, Cheryl?
It's gonna work, yeah.
I'll make a motion to designate Cheryl Lashendro as the payroll warrant signature designee for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
Is that all of them?
Lots of appointments in this meeting.
Okay, this is yours now. Thank you. Let me have that. We have some donations. Wouldn't be a school committee meeting without donations.
Do we need to approve the third quarter? We didn't approve, no?
What? Say it again,
Don't we
Michael.
need to approve the third quarter report? I feel like we do.
Usually you do.
Right, we approve the other spending stuff. Maybe I'm
So
wrong.
was the spending stuff,
The
was
third
the
quarter
spending stuff the
financial
third
report.
quarter report? Were you thinking that was?
Well, I was thinking it was going along with it
Yeah.
because that was the 240.
Right, so what's gonna happen is, when you see this again, it's gonna
have
we're
all
gonna
the-
have all the
Yeah.
adjustments made.
So do we not?
We don't.
We don't need to.
Laura said no.
Yeah, I don't remember you doing it before.
I don't know, we'll have to double check that, but I mean, we can move forward on it.
Okay, and it would not be a school committee meeting without generous donations from our community. We received very generous donation of $130 for the food services department, so I wanted to thank them once again for their generous donation.
Yes.
I will make a motion to accept the $130 donation from the local community members to help those families who are in arrears.
So moved.
Second. Go ahead.
All in favor? Aye.
Yeah, that's very
That
helpful.
is, it's always very nice. We have a lot of surplus books.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
I know.
So what do we actually do with them?
Yeah,
We just-
what is the proper protocol?
Well,
Burn 'em?
you're-
You know, I mean, I'm looking at something like, wow, that's a lot of
Yeah.
books.
The only
Like-
question I had was, there was Lord of the Flies, and I know that we assign Lord of the
Oh,
Flies.
yeah, what are the flies?
I think these books are just in
It's-
terrible
they're
condition.
in tattered-
Yes,
okay, got
they're
it.
not really
Got it.
usable.
Okay, so like torn pages, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
There were a lot of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you know how we do we,
You're supposed to once you approve, then you're supposed to advertise and see if anybody would want
Oh,
them.
because it's
Oh.
surplus government.
okay, and then if nobody.
And then if
and then you-
nobody, you can,
And then we ask Mike to get rid of it.
Or,
To be donated to somebody?
or I
Well,
suppose.
sometimes book companies will buy them back, but they won't buy these. And sometimes if they're in good shape, you donate them to companies that, they're places that give books to third world countries
Right,
and
that's
that
what
kind of
I'm-
stuff. But again, I'm not sure what the
I'm not-
condition of these
Right,
books.
I think they're pretty bad.
We don't generally get rid of books that are,
Yeah,
in good
good.
shape.
Yeah,
Condition.
these are
Okay.
some good titles.
we
too.
would have
Right,
gone
I'm
in.
saying, so it must be because they're just in
But
disarray.
I remember that some of the books at the Pembroke Library, I used to tape up, and it was like, it's a miracle that they would still take tape.
I know, but we hate to throw books away.
I know, of course.
I know.
Of course.
I'll make a motion to approve the list of Georgetown Middle High School books as surplus to be disposed of by proper protocol.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The one question that I did have is, can we just get an update on the number of surveys that are coming in, the district
that-
satisfaction?
I asked Michael the other night.
Because it was
'Cause I
low.
think I wrote a
You
blog
did.
about that. or
75
something.
questions, yeah. Pretty low.
You knew that was coming.
75 questions, well, there's a lot of questions before, too, a couple years ago, and we got 300, right?
Yeah,
We did.
the number, I was really surprised that it was so low.
Most of yourselves for a second.
So, okay.
So you're checking on that, and what about,
Baker Adams?
There are
Yeah,
17 completed Baker Adams.
17 completed.
I think I
37
reminded
partials.
people on that too.
And the
Yeah, we saw
deadline,
that.
the deadline is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow at
One more signature.
4
We need
o'clock.
one more
Okay.
signature on this.
37 is
37
partial?
partials, 17 completeds.
Wow, that's,
That's low, isn't it?
Well,
I mean,
no,
we
not if
always do-
37
So that's
partials, if
54.
37 come in.
okay.
We always get
Yeah.
tomorrow
We
at
get
3:45.
around, don't we get like around,
A bunch.
usually around 30-ish?
30, 32.
Yeah.
And we have
that's 54 though.
Well, yeah, that, if everybody. comes.
No, no.
Oh,
No, he
included.
said partial, 37 partial,
Oh, it is 54. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
17
Yeah.
completed.
yes.
Yeah.
So 50, that's a lot.
Potentially, yeah. But we
I mean,
got
the class is
there were a
only-
lot
That
of
is
Isn't it
partials.
only
potentially a
98
lot.
kids?
That is potentially a lot of Baker Adams
How
scholarships.
many kids are in this class? I thought it
But
was.
they're also, remember, returning there are students
Oh,
who are
there's some
already
that-
graduated.
That graduate
Oh.
that.
There's also some St. John's.
Right.
Okay.
or-
Yeah.
So
there
it's
are-
not all
yeah,
our
it's
students, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't have to all be us.
But we usually don't get that many from,
It's
we
a,
get
it's
a
a, it's a handful.
couple
Yeah.
of returning graduates and then a couple.
There are district satisfaction. There are 85 complete, and then 21 partials.
And when is that due?
It was already due. I think I put in the
Did we
blog to
extend the
extended it to
deadline?
the end of May.
The end of May?
Well, the 26th, I think I might have said,
Wow.
you know, to give them a couple of extra weeks.
Have Scott do it.
You probably did a partial because you stopped after 3
That's,
minutes.
that's low.
Maybe I did one question.
It is low.
That is low, and I know it was on the Georgetown Parents Facebook page. Somebody had put the link on there and said,
Yeah.
you know, take some
we can
time
just-
and fill it out.
I think you
to
should
put
do
it
a
on-
survey to ask them how many questions would be.
You're funny.
Yeah, I mean, I
We
think
could ask
we've
Kip to
been
put it
tweeting it
on
and
town Facebook.
putting it, more,
Oh,
you know,
I
maybe we
didn't
can
even
put it
know
on
there's a
the
Georgetown
parent
Town
Facebook
Facebook
page
page.
again, just the
And
link
he's in
again.
charge of that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I put it on
What is
twice,
that?
Yeah, I know.
district.
Oh, God. Don't tell me
Well,
anymore.
there's the town has an official Facebook page.
And is that the one that Kip
That is the one that
Tony
Kip manages.
takes care of? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That'd be a good idea to do that,
Yep,
because that's,
yep,
that's
I
low.
agree, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just keep talking it up and,
And do we have a schedule for Baker Adams meetings? So
we
if they're,
talked
if
about
they're
it.
due
oh, we didn't get,
tomorrow,
oh, we didn't get a date?
23rd,
did we?
Was it
I
the-
have a
wait,
date, yeah.
I have 23rd at 6 o'clock.
There you go, that's right, that's what I have.
Oh, so a week from Tuesday. Okay, I do have it on there.
Sacred
So that
Adams.
gives you literally like a week
Sacred Adams,
to
like, review it.
review them all.
So we could
Voting.
pick them up, Laura, probably Monday?
Monday.
You think that would be,
Monday.
that would be great if we could have a whole week to
So
do that.
Do you, so,
Especially if you get 50.
I won't be able
Yeah.
to be at that meeting, so
Right.
should I have mine done and,
And great, and,
Yeah.
and just give it to you and,
yeah, well, Laura, you do that, right? You
okay.
send, well, the spreadsheet? Huh?
It's gonna be a busy week.
I know.
It's good.
Be a fun
Do
week.
whatever you can do.
Busy's good.
Yes, this is gonna be a busy couple weeks, and tomorrow is famous American presentations.
Oh, fun.
That's tomorrow,
Love that.
Pembroke, that's
Pembroke.
fifth grade?
5th grade.
Did you know the time on that?
What time is that?
I should know that. Let's see, tomorrow. Let's see. I'm going between 10:30 and 11:30.
What time is that,
10:30.
Carol? I'm sorry, I missed that.
10:30, 11:30. I'm not sure if it's like a window, but that's what I've got on my calendar, 10:30 to 11:30.
That's always nice.
And then, of course, the Grand March is at 5.
Right, you said 5, and then the prom starts at 6.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think we have anything else,
Great.
you think? Okay, so I will make a motion to, end the, school committee meeting at 9:10 PM. There is no reason to have an executive session
Do we
this,
have to approve those minutes?
yes, thank you. The minutes on the agenda, because we
Oh.
went backwards on the agenda. Sorry, thank you, Cheryl. I'll make a motion to approve regular session minutes of April 13th, 2017, regular session minutes of April 25th, 2017, safety minutes of April 13th, 2017, start school later minutes of May 2nd, 2017, and acceptance of warrants number 45V17 and 44P17.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Great, okay. So at this time, are we good?
Really,
looking
this
again.
time? We're close.
I will make a motion to end the meeting at 9:10 PM. There is no reason for a executive session this evening. So I wish the seniors, juniors and seniors a great prom tomorrow. Be safe and have a great time.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
For
Is
those,
your son going?